The tape. We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Right. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guide Network on a fabulous Thursday evening for what is shaping up to be an absolutely loaded show, or as we say around here these times of the week, last show, best show. We got an absolutely loaded one for you. We got our final thoughts. Of course, on a Thursday, we have Unless It Doesn't Happen here for you guys tonight. We're going to take a look back at our predictions from the week and rate those predictions for you guys, and much, much more here on a Thursday as we encapsulate what has been a tremendous week of coverage here on the Film Guide Network. Glad to have you guys in with us again for another night of loaded content here on the show. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, firing off in the chat, having a good time. A lot of options here on a Thursday for people on the internet to watch whatever they may see fit. There's a lot of that Sunday League playing on a Thursday here. We always tell you on a Thursday, it is up to the chat to put this in front of as many new people as we can humanly possibly get, because what a way to introduce people to this live show and this network than on a Thursday where we have tremendous amounts of fun. Make sure you're firing off and hitting that thumbs up button. All that good stuff. I already see a super chub in the chat. We're going to have a good time tonight. And on a Thursday, I actually want to start with an opinion. We talk a lot of news. We talk a lot of notes. We talk a lot of reactions from football games during this time of the year. I don't really give you full-throated opinions about football teams and or coaches like this one today in the midst of a season, but I've been kind of struggling with this one because, to be honest with you, I've been watching way too many Steve Sarkeesian press conferences over the last several weeks. Been watching reading way too many quotes from the head ball coach out there at the University of Texas. And I will say this up front and foremost. I am a Steve Sarkeesian fan. All right. I believe in everything that he's doing. I think they got a good football program out there. I think it's been a less than stellar football season for him and for this football program. But I'm a Sark believer. I'm not a Sark doubter. That being said, I have seen a pattern of things that I do not like, and I want to talk about them today, okay? And I think the theme of this, and I wrote it at the end of these notes, I think the theme of this is I am someone who wants my football coaches and therefore my football team and football players to have extreme ownership over their performance. And I don't think Steve Sarkeesian has displayed extreme ownership in front of the microphone as of late. And I'll give you several examples. Leading up to the Georgia football game, he was asked about his schedule or whatever it may be, and he went on this long soliloquy about he didn't necessarily like his schedule because it was back-end loaded with a bunch of conference games in a row, and he felt as if he didn't really, A, get a breath, or B, get to play his conference schedule when his football team was as healthy as some of these other teams might have gotten conference slates, weeks 2 or 3 early on in the season. To which we said last week, like, Coach, you're getting a bye before you go to Georgia and play a very important football game for you. Not only that, like, Coach, you have nobody on your injury report. So I felt that was very, very weird and unnecessary. Most football coaches just look at a question like that and they say, well, we play who we play, and it's our job to be the best version of ourselves when we go play them. Give me the coach speak. Don't give me what could be labeled excuse making. Let's go to the second example of things that I didn't really love. He was asked on Monday if he felt as if this season were a disappointment, to which he immediately stopped the reporter and said, to who? Like, really, really defensively, to who? Coach, it should be to you. You are the head football coach at the University of Texas. You have a top 3 roster, and you are not going to a college football playoff because you have lost 3 football games, one of which was to a 3-7 Florida football team. You took this job because you thought you could win a national title here. They pay you to win a national title at that university. You recruit at a rate that you should. So when you do not meet those standards, you shouldn't go to the microphone and say to whom we didn't meet the standards. Sir, your standards should be national titles. Your standards should be conference titles. Your standards should be going to the college football playoff. So when you are asked, do you feel as if this year is a failure? Yes, it is, Coach. Yes, it is. If I were the head football coach, yes, it is. It should be. That is on me. I want extreme ownership in the standards that we have. You should walk around that building talking about natties every day and working to be a national championship standard everywhere you go from top down. Didn't like that one. Was asked again this week about penalties. For those of you who don't know, Texas the last 3 years has been outside the top 95 in penalties. They are one of the most heavily penalized football teams for the 3rd year in a row. They're 129th currently in penalties received or penalties called against. And instead of going to the microphone when asked about this today, instead of going and saying, hey, 3rd year in a row, my football team, undisciplined for whatever reason may be, that falls on me, the head football coach. Instead, we spent 2 minutes going through this whole diatribe, excusing away penalties. Well, you really got to look closely. What kind of penalties are they? Is it this? Is it that? No, Coach, it's 3 straight years, man. It's 3 straight years. Y'all can't stop getting penalties. So what is it? It's probably something you guys are doing wrong for 3 straight years in a row. I may be overlooking things, guys. I may be over analyzing something that doesn't really matter. But we're looking at a football program that has a top 3 roster and a top 3 budget and does not get top 3 results. And people want to know why. And people look around and they want to know why. It's not just the offensive, discontinuity that they got going on. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of this whole totality of a football program that I don't think is necessarily reaching where it's supposed to be.
I remember kind of having this feeling about Sark in the offseason. It was right around that time where Texas went on this run of picking up massive recruits. They get Tyler Atkinson away from Georgia. They get James Johnson to flip from Georgia to Texas. I mean, they just go on this run of picking up these high-caliber recruits. And I remember Sark going to the microphone. I can't remember the exact quote he said, but I remember he was preaching about how, we build all of this off of relationships. That's what we really believe in here. And I know that you can't just outright say, we had the biggest bag. Like, that's what we did. But it just felt like that the entire time he just feels like he can sit there and lie to people at times and, and I'm not asking for a full transparency on things like that, but I just didn't like the way that he carried himself in that moment because I felt like he's just trying to fool everybody when everybody knows the actuality of the situation. So I've kind of felt this way about Sark in front of a microphone for a little bit.
Yeah, I think the lack of accountability is what's been worst for Steve Sarkeesian. I do, to some degree, understand the disappointment for who. In that moment, it's a knee-jerk of kind of like you're trying to defend your players of not saying their failures. I do think you can go about it a better way and say, we haven't gotten the results we want. There's a standard that we as a group haven't met.
Is there not a way of going about defending your players without sounding defensive as the head football coach?
Absolutely.
There has to be.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I think when you get asked questions, I think Shane Beamer falls victim to this way too often. Shane Beamer is way too emotional on the microphone. I'm not saying Steve Sarkeesian is. I think Steve Sarkeesian spends maybe a little bit too much time in front of a microphone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many
I think
press
that's
conferences
what,
is he
I
doing?
think that's what it might be. I think, and look, I don't mean to betray any confidences, but the Texas media reporting scene was just over here. You talk to those guys about this guy, and they are very obviously very well accessible. He is very accessible. They get to talk to him very often. He is very forthcoming with all of his answers. He speaks from the chest. He speaks from the cuff. He does not do a lot of this curving his feelings or curving his speaking when he's in front of a microphone, and that's his own prerogative, and he can get to do that. All that being said, Coach, I want extreme ownership at the microphone because that's what we ask of our players as football coaches. We ask them to own their craft 365. And I need you to own your craft in front of a microphone when the whole world's looking at us, because I think it's a lot of, oh, well, let's excuse this away. Let's excuse this away. Let's excuse this away. And then next thing you know, you're not meeting the expectations that you have set for your own program.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there needs to be certainly more accountability coming out of Austin for sure.
And I think the funniest part too, like going back to that question of why do you think you guys have underachieved, and he asks who, and then there's this clip that gets resurfaced on social media of him when he initially gets to Texas, and he's talking about, well, like 4 years from now, if we're losing 3 games, and we got to have a conversation about why that's happening and why we are underachieving our goals.
Buddy, I thought I'd gone through a weight loss transformation. Steve Sarkeesian, what are you on? Mm-hmm. I need that diet, and I need that workout plan.
I think he walks like 1.5 miles every day after practice, and I don't know his regimen. Probably diet-based as well. I'm sure it's diet-based.
All right, we're good on the Sark stuff. I also have some news. Do you want some news? Fresh off the printer right here from Graphics, and they didn't mess it up today. I got QB rankings.
Let's
Jonathan,
hear 'em.
You want SEC QB rankings or you want national QB rankings? Which one first?
It's a national hour. We got to go national.
You know what? I like your style. I'm going to give you SEC QB rankings first, though. Number 1, Ty Simpson. Didn't play great last week. All right, had a lot of misses. Still think his overall body of work worthy of number 1, especially in the SEC. It was real close in the national list, okay? Real close. Number 2, Gunnar Stockton. Nice yawn. Number 3, Marcel Reed. Number 4, Joey Aguilar. Number 5, Trinidad. Gold all in my watch, Chambliss. Number 5, Diego Pavia. Number 7, Arch Manning. Number 8, John Mateer. Number 9, Taylor Green. Should be noted, these rankings are predicated off of I've got a pick and stick. You and your offense go score 50 tomorrow. That's why Diego Pavia's down there, because even at their best of best, they're going to drop 35. I need somebody I know, hey, we got to go to war. You got to drop back 40 times. We got to sling it for 385 today. Who can get it done? Okay.
Do you have Gunnar Stockton as the second best quarterback in the SEC?
I do. I think he has played phenomenal football the last several weeks. Now, look, Marcel Reed and Gunnar Stockton, if you look at them from a statistical standpoint, relatively similar apart from one very, very critical area.
Turnovers.
Those turnover rates right now for Marcel Reed are still very concerning, okay?
What do you make of Ty Simpson's turnovers, though?
So he's only got, 4 interceptions and 3 of them in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, but he's gone 5 games in a row with a fumble.
That is true.
And I think that's what gets overlooked. Like, taking care of the football isn't just not throwing interceptions. He has put the ball at risk a handful of times this season, especially in the pocket.
I had Pavia 6, Arch 7, Mateer 8, Taylor Green 9. Football brain getting me on a Thursday night.
It happens.
Sorry, I skipped somebody.
That happens. But, no, I think that's – now,
I haven't finished fully caffeinating myself tonight, so watch out for that back 90. I'm going to tell you that right now.
But no, I'm not saying Ty Simpson needs to be knocked off the number 1 list. I do think it's something that people need to pay more attention to is the amount of fumbles he has had, because that is a concern. And you can put that on the offensive line, which part of it is, but he has to take better care of the football when he's in the pocket.
All right, you want that national list now?
Yeah.
Jonathan, you want it 1 to 10 with the outside looking in, or do you want the outside looking in 10 to 1?
Let's go reverse 1 to 10.
Reverse 1 to 10, that'd be 10 to 1? Okay, let's go 10 to 1. I like your style. I like your style.
Tricked him. You see that?
Outside looking in first. All right, we're still looking at Kevin Jennings. All right, I'm not watching a ton of SMU football, but I'm watching y'all from a distance. Bear Bachmeier, still taking a look. It's getting sloppy down the stretch down there at BYU, but it is what it is. Demon Williams, still taking a look. I'm very curious to see what he does to finish the season against Oregon. Mm-hmm. Very curious. Also very curious to see if Jed Fish can drum up enough money to keep that guy around, because here's the deal. We're going to turn down the Sam Levitt rumors this week, and they've already started about Lenoris. Then it was Sam Levitt. Next week, you're going to find out about Miami poaching Demond Williams. Book it. I'm telling you right now. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen. There's going to be some Demond Williams is getting tampered with. Yeah, no duh. He's good. Watching that one. Number 10, Trinidad Chambliss. Didn't look so good in the first half, all right, but came together in that second half against Florida offensively, especially with the help of Kejuan Lacey. The more and more they establish a dynamic running game, they're going to be impossible to stop down the stretch, it feels like. Number 9, Joey Aguilar. Still very turnover prone. I know last week, tomato can. We'll see what you guys got this weekend down in the swamp against that Florida defense that's still playing really, really scrappy. Marcel Reed, I dropped you because I watched the first half. I know most people only watch the second half, but guess what? I watched the second half too. I thought that was a lot on your coordinator. I thought that was a lot on your weapons. I thought there's still a lot to clean up if you really paid attention to that film study. Look, I'm not a person that's like, oh, happy feet are bad. Guys, I could show you clips of Peyton Manning and make you think that guy's got happy feet. Okay, it's not that. It's, for me, when we climb through it, we can't climb a pocket. When we climb a pocket, we sail footballs, and that's a problem for me right now with Marcel. If he climbs pockets, he needs to take off and go. That's the most safe weapon right about now for this A&M passing attack. So really concerned about the continued growth there, but at least they're trying. At least they're trying to force him to do it, almost to a detriment of the team, at least to a 27-point lead a week ago. Number 7, Gunnar Stockton on the national list. Number 6, big baller, Haynes King. Big baller, Haynes King right there. Number 5, big ups to C.J. Carr. Big ups to C.J. Carr. The more I study it, the more I study the offense, the more I would be like, hard one. Hard one to figure out. What do you do there? You can't load the box. Now, be very interesting to see what they do next year. I don't know if both Love and Jadarian Price are gone, but I don't know what happens to the run game next year when we lose the best back in college football. So very curious to see how that goes moving forward. But that dude is an elite quarterback. Number 4, Dante Moore. Just a very stagnant Dante Moore performance for the last 2 months. I just don't feel as if he's played bad enough to drop him on these lists. And I still love the talent. Number 3, Julian Sam, 80% completion percentage. I mean, my God, can't do it much better than that. Not getting asked to do a whole lot, but I don't think a lot of these guys are, to be honest with you. A lot of these guys are on good football teams. Number 2, always want to call him Francisco, Fernando Mendoza. Oh, my God. Did you see the clip of him talking through cover 2? Oh, my God. He about had Urban Meyer, you-know-what, on national television. It was –
oh, Lord.
Yeah, man. He was peaked up. It was – and all it was, hey, had the middle field safety, had his hips turned. We knew we had speed at 3. We had to get him vertical. And it was like, this guy can talk through the position. He's a good football player. He's played a lot of college football. I hope he can. Really, really close, though, to like jumping Ty Simpson because of the way Ty Simpson played in that football game. I'll tell you this much. If you have an argument for me, it would be putting Fernando over Ty, because I don't think Fernando Mendoza has had a singular miss as bad as the collective misses we saw from Ty this weekend.
Yeah.
It was not a good performance from Ty, but again, collective body of work.
So what you're telling me is that if Haynes King was in the SEC, he would be the second best quarterback in that conference?
Well, if Georgia Tech and Haynes King were in the conference, they would be 7-5. So let's cuidado with that one.
All right.
Let's be careful. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, in the overall ranking, he would be like the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in this conference. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think.
I don't know.
Why is that interesting?
I think that he's put a lot of really good work. I think that the quality of competition has also not been there. And I think that you could say that for a handful of guys, but Haynes King in particular is one of them. Like, that team has not played a top 25 team at all. And you can say what you want about Julian Sane and Fernando Mendoza and some of these other teams out there, but they've at least gone up against teams with a pulse.
The thing about Haynes compared to the rest of the guys on that list, though, is, you mentioned how a lot of these guys are not being asked to do a lot. Haynes King is being asked to do a lot for that Georgia Tech offense.
He the squad.
Yeah, I mean, he is the heartbeat of that offense. They go as he goes.
Second leading rusher?
Probably, I would imagine. Probably. I don't know the stats.
Jamal Haynes and then him, maybe?
I would almost guarantee it without even looking at the numbers. But, I mean, of all the names, like, that guy is one of the sole reasons why they are in the position that they are right now.
No free ads, boys. No free ads around here.
Speaking of no free ads, let's go ahead and give a quick shout to our friends over at Sleeper.
Go on, do it.
Sleeper, if you have not heard by now and you're wondering what in the world this is, Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that is focused on bringing people together through sports and through gaming, two of all of our favorite things. It has over 6 million active users, and that number is only rising by the day, while earning some of the highest level of engagement per user in the industry. It's one of the fastest growing fantasy platforms, organically growing, might I add, in the world. If you head over there today and use promo code Brooks, you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. What does that mean? Put $100 in, you get $100 for free. It's a free 100 right there. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. They are operational in 25 states, including the great state of Georgia. Head over to Sleeper today and use promo code Brooks.
If you haven't headed over to Sleeper already, I need you to do it right now. If you're watching us on a Thursday with all these other options, so you're one of our most avid fans, okay? And if you're one of those people, if you're one of the several hundred people watching right now and you haven't signed up over on Sleeper using promo code Brooks, run and do that today. 100% deposit match up to $100. It's worth it. Head over there today. Speaking of quarterbacks, like we were prior to that, Sleeper read. Fine job right there by you, sir. Boys, the Auburn Tigers have announced that Duce Knight will be starting this, officially announced that Duce Knight will be starting this weekend against the 9-1 Mercer Bears.
Go Bears.
Hey, great way to start it. Get it at home, all right? You get to know no matter what happens this week, you put you back on the pine next week. They're going to play Ashton Daniels back out there to face the Crimson Tide. So thoughts on Duce Knight ultimately getting a chance to show the world what's poachable down there at Auburn.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is I think it's interesting that, like, I would understand it if they had a head coach still. Like, we have this young quarterback. We're not really playing for anything anymore. Let's just see what he has this weekend against Mercer. Like, let's see what we have moving forward. Let's see what maybe we can build on. Let's get some tape on this kid. But considering that this is an interim head coach, a new head coach is going to come in. That's oftentimes when players are definitely going to enter the portal. Like, putting this out there, I don't know if that's a great idea.
Hot take. This was John Cohen's decision to advertise to the next head football coach, look at what you got.
Yeah.
By the way, we talked about this with the Miami being in search of a quarterback. Who is in search of a quarterback right now? Like, and I only ask this because if Duce Knight does hit the portal, where's he going?
I would imagine
there's plenty of teams.
I would imagine
Start naming them.
I would imagine LSU is looking for a quarterback next year.
Why would they not be riding with Tyler Van Buren? They just kick Garrett Nussmeier to the curb.
Michael Van
Michael
Buren.
Van Buren.
Tyler Michael.
I think you can
know
do
what I'm
better
saying.
than Michael Van Buren, in my opinion.
All right, is an unproven Duce Knight better than Tyler Van Buren?
I
Gotta
don't
get him
know.
on campus and see.
We don't know that.
Depends on what you
But
see
if you're
this
Duce
weekend.
Knight, why would you be leaving Auburn to go maybe compete for a position job at LSU? You see what I'm saying?
they're gonna pay you
all
way more
all I'm
money.
trying to get around is that even though he has the ability to hit the portal at the end of the year, where is he going to go? And normally when you look at these types of recruitments of five-star quarterbacks, if they do hit the portal after a year, we start looking at who else recruited them, right? Prime example, Julian Saint hits the portal at Alabama because Nick Saban retires and immediately goes to Ohio State. He chose Alabama over Ohio State. If you go back and look at Duce Knight's recruiting process, it was either Auburn or Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He ain't going to Notre Dame.
No.
So where's he going? I brought this up a couple weeks ago. I don't know, and I think Duce is a great football player. We're going to find out this week how good he actually is, and not what he's ultimately going to be, but at least what his talents are.
Florida State could be looking at a
Yeah.
quarterback.
It's a great
this
point.
offseason.
Florida State, there's one.
There's plenty of schools that will be needing a QB.
They are, but it's not like this kid's at Tulane. You
No,
see what I'm saying?
no, I
This kid is
completely
at
agree.
Auburn. He's already making 1.2. He's
Indiana-
probably already making 1.5.
Indiana's going to be looking for a quarterback, I would imagine.
Indiana, Vanderbilt, Kentucky. Like, there's a handful of places that have always been in this market. LSU's another team. Like, there's
Louisville.
plenty of schools that will need a starting quarterback come the year. The quarterback is one of the most highly demanded positions. Like, if you are a 5-star and you enter the portal, unless you've just put up some hot garbage on tape,
Never mind.
you will get recruited by teams.
What were you?
I was about to say Georgia Tech, but they got Philo. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Philo's already got the school passing record for a single game.
Yeah, they
Good
have
Lord.
their answer
What
right
was it,
there.
250 yards?
He went 387 against
that's-
Temple this year or
that's pretty
something like
good.
that. In mop-up, or not mop-up duty, but in, hey, we need you to start on a Thursday, and you got 2 days to prep because Haynes is in a wheelchair. 387. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I just think it's interesting. I think it's an advertisement for their next football coach. I would imagine if you're DJ Durkin, how do you feel about this? Like you're just trying to win. It don't really matter.
Yeah.
All you're trying to do is win. But they told you can't be playing Ashton Daniels, and now they told you have to play the future. But they're not even. Are they giving him a chance to interview for that job?
I doubt it.
Have we heard anything about that?
And here's the weird thing is that Auburn is wanting to preserve this red shirt for Ashton Daniels so that he can return next year. But you're also going to see what you have in Duce Knight. I think that's interesting.
I mean, it could also be like this is like Ashton Daniels being like, hey, guys, can we preserve this red shirt for me so I have another year of eligibility so that this season wasn't a waste?
I'm trying to get a doctorate's degree.
By all means, go right ahead.
Because didn't he graduate in 3 from Stanford? Because
Probably,
he was a delayed enrollee this summer
yeah.
because he had to finish classes out there at Stanford. You get a degree from Stanford and a degree in aeration and farming from Auburn, you're set for life.
You get plenty of life
You're
opportunities.
set for life. Rate the predictions?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, review, and all that good stuff. Let's start out there at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, as the USC Trojans head up there. A 12:30 local kick out there for the Ducks. I picked Oregon last night, and everyone seems to be riding the Ducks on this one. Y'all notice this? Vegas riding them heavy.
Yep.
Every talking head I can find riding them heavy. Vegas knows something. But no, in my opinion, no chance the Big Ten lets Oregon lose this football game. Hot take. Hot take. If USC wins this football game, we could get into this whole Oregon's a fraud. USC should get in at 10-2, but they lost to Notre Dame. Maybe potentially both of them going out. Let's give 2 spots to BYU. Their only loss was to Texas Tech. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This would be a nightmare scenario for the Big Ten. They could Pac-12 themselves on Saturday night with 2 Pac-12 teams in USC and Oregon. I don't think the Zebra's going to allow the Ducks to be losing this football game. Hot take.
You're predicting the game is fixed.
Yeah,
I'm predicting Vegas knows a little something, and they know that no way Tony Petitti lets that conference only have 2-member schools.
I'm in agreement that Vegas definitely knows something.
That's what they know. They know
think-
the fix is in. Just kidding.
I don't think we should, as media members, just say
We should not.
This
We should
game's
not.
fixed. So I'm not going to subscribe to that. But I do agree that Vegas probably knows something here. And you think about, like, who are the most physical teams that USC has played? And that's always been the hindrance for Lincoln Riley is how do they go against physical teams? I would say the most physical team on USC's schedule right now would be Notre Dame. They lost that game by 10 points. Now, they were in it. They looked good. They fought admirably, but I just think this Oregon defense is going to be on another level, and I don't know if USC is going to be able to score enough points.
3.69 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm relatively confident. I don't know if I would put it at probably like a 3.3 to be honest. I think that this is on paper this looks like a pretty even matchup in my opinion, but as I mentioned multiple times about this, it seems like other people know something that I don't. So I'm still pretty confident that Oregon's going to win like I predicted.
I have a 3.5 for Oregon in this one.
All right, let's head on down to the swamp. You feel that mugginess in the air already? Transporting ourselves down to Gainesville, Florida. You ever been to Ben Hook Griffin Stadium?
I have not.
Me neither.
Neither have
I don't know if I ever will.
I want to see it once.
It's a must-win football game for the Vols. Must-win football game, I feel like, for this football program and this coaching staff. I picked Tennessee, and I'm going to be honest. I don't feel real good about it. I don't. And I should. At this point in the season, with what's going on with Florida, I feel like I should feel good about it. But, I mean, god dang, we've been saying that since week 3 with this Florida football team, and they keep giving folks sweats. This could be the game, though, boys, that Josh Heupel walks old Tim Banks to the plank.
Ooh, yeah.
It could be the one. You give up 35 in this one, buddy. I think I looked it up today. Do you know where they're ranked in points per game allowed right about now?
I would imagine like 78th.
Try again.
It starts with a 9.
It does. 96th.
Ew.
96th in points per game allowed. I don't feel good about it. Give me Tennessee 0.0001 out of 5. Don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I was going to put it as a dead 1 for Tennessee this weekend. There's also been some other things I want to dive into, and I'm going to dive into during our final thoughts segment about how the overall feeling of this game, and I just don't love it. I don't love how like it feels like maybe one team is going into this weekend and it feels like they're ready to take it on, and the other one's like, who cares about this game? Like that's my feeling. I predicted Tennessee to win. I'm putting it at a 1, though.
Yeah, I actually picked Florida to win this game just for all of the reasons you guys have been talking about. I've got it at a 1.5 as well. This Florida team, while they do fight hard, while there is a long streak in this stadium, It is also a very, very bad football team. So I picked Florida to win, but I don't feel great about it.
I really don't feel as if, and I say this about them every time we talk about them, I don't feel as if they're a bad football team. I just think they find ways to lose football games,
I mean, that's
which makes them a bad football team.
So that's what bad teams do.
Damn, they're a good roster.
Oh, yeah, every time.
Every time, man. Every time I look at them, I'm like, sheesh. All right, so we're on Tennessee. You're on Florida. None of us feel good about it.
Correct.
Let's move on to a game I do feel good about.
Yeah.
Mizzou at OU. The Tigers on the road to take on the Sooners. This 11 a.m. local kick. I don't think you're going to be watching a thriller in Norman this weekend. You know?
Not an
I think
offensive
it's got 24-7, 24-10 written all over it.
This is the type of game that you have on the TV, and you get to a point where you almost feel like you're not even paying attention to it anymore because there's really nothing interesting happening. Like it looks like a close game. Like when you tune in, it might say Oklahoma 10, Missouri 7 in the third quarter. You're like, ooh, a good football game, and then you turn it on, it's like, oh no, this isn't a very good game.
Let's play a fun game. Missouri's chances to win this outright, what are they? 17%?
I'd put it a little higher than that. I'd give them like a 28.
All right, you give them 28%. Let's say I say that Missouri has 2 pick sixes.
Okay.
Now what is it?
I would increase that to about 52.
You still think it's a coin flip. That's the way I'm at. I think Missouri's defense has to score like 2 times for them to win this ball game is what I'm saying. I think Oklahoma's defense is that good.
Oh, they're that good for sure.
Especially against the situation they got going on out there at Missouri.
Yeah.
Ahmad Hardy, great last week. We know what Mississippi State's run defense is.
Oh,
we
yeah.
know.
It's bad.
We know what it is. Kejuan Lacey might run for 4 bills on that butt in the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, I predicted Oklahoma to win. I'm with you, Brooks. This is one of the games that I'm fairly confident in. I'm going to rate this one at like a 4.2 in favor of the Sooners.
Stone Cold lock of the century, 5 out of 5. Sooners roll.
It's interesting. I actually have Missouri winning this game because, like you said, I think that Oklahoma's offense has benefited greatly from the mistakes of the other 2 teams they've faced the last 2 weeks or last 2 games. I don't know if that's a sustainable method. I went with Missouri on this, but I don't feel great about it. I have it at a 2.
I'm just thinking, back in the heyday of argumentative television, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless would put a case of dew on it. When there is a blasphemous prediction, or not a blasphemous, just one that you strongly, vehemently disagree with. Like in my mind, there is very few simulations where Missouri wins this football game. There needs to be a friendly wager here because I don't think that happens at all. And what do you think? You think Missouri's defense is that good, and the running game might be able to summon 17 points and hold Oklahoma to 14? You think like a 17-14 Missouri win? What's the path? Is what I'm asking.
I think Oklahoma's been on the winning side of some very fortunate turnovers and gotten some very short fields from it.
Fair.
And I think that's a luck thing. As much as it does take defensive making plays, getting the ball to bounce your way, getting the ball on the whatever side, getting a pick six. There's luck that comes in.
I mean, even within Oklahoma's season, they went like the first 5 games without a turnover. They didn't force one. It was just great team defense, but they didn't get the ball thrown to them, despite the fact that they had made multiple plays on the ball. So it's going to sound crazy when he says turnovers are a luck stat, but historically speaking, they are. They're not something that you can guarantee. Just because you've done it at a high rate doesn't mean you're going to consistently do it. The only program and football organization that has bucked this trend over the long haul was the Patriots under Bill Belichick. For 20 straight years, they were positive in the turnover margin. Nobody else really does that. They always have these years of bad years or good years and not at these historically really, really consistent programs. But you're right. It is very up and down, and all it takes is one bad game. It's the same reason you could have reasonably and can reasonably pick against Alabama moving forward. Yeah. Because if you have one of these one-dimensional offenses and you're playing a quality opponent, you can take a loss. Yep. It is very, very plausible to happen. All right. Let's move on. We were very, very quick in our analysis last night with Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech. I picked Pittsburgh in this football game, and I trust my pick more than I trust Georgia Tech's defense.
Yep. I think that's basically what everyone's going with here. I don't know if you picked Pitt as well, J-Will, but I personally feel like for as much as we talk about how, man, this Pitt team has played no one, for as much as this Pitt team doesn't have a good resume, Georgia Tech is basically the exact same thing, if not worse, and that defense has given up points galore. I mean, you gave up 34 last week to a 1-9 Boston College. Before that, it was 40 to NC State. Like, this defense
48.
is not very good, and this Pitt offense, statistically speaking, is good.
That's what I was about to say, Kirby. I would make an argument that it's either Duke or this Pitt offense is the best offense Georgia Tech's played to date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of points.
I picked Georgia Tech to win purely based off the fact that even when situations have gotten a little scary for them, they found ways to win other than against NC State. But with that said, I think that as good as Georgia Tech's offense is, I think they are doing a complete disservice to what their defense is. Like, once we kind of realize that our defense isn't going to be able to stop anybody, it's probably not a good idea to keep rolling them out there.
We need to get into milk mode, baby.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, and it's great that Georgia Tech is able to put up as many points as they are. But you're putting yourselves in these situations where you got to get in shootouts with Boston College. You got to get in shootouts with NC State. You might have to get in a shootout with Pittsburgh because you're kind of doing it to yourself on top of your defense hasn't been that great this year. So I picked Georgia Tech to win. I don't feel great about it. I would put this at like a 1.3 in favor of the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I had it at 1.25 in favor of Pitt. I don't feel good.
Let's see. I think I have it like a 1.9.
Yeah. All right, let's take a peek, boys. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready to take a peek?
Let's do it.
I didn't even feel like circling back on that BYU-Cincy game.
That's okay.
Y'all good on that one?
Yep.
It's a 2.5-point spread. Cougars favored on the road over the Bearcats. I got the Cougs.
I got the Cougs.
2.25.
2.7.
I got it at a 4.
Sure, like 1.2 million people are going to watch it. It's going to be loaded. Here we go. Taking a peek. I'll be taking a peek at Michigan and Maryland.
Oh, I had them on here too.
Ooh.
Michigan eked one out at Wrigley last week against
they
Northwestern. I mean, it was hairy for 4. It was ugly. It was gross. It was Big Ten. It was the Windy City. It was all of it. This week you got Maryland. Next week you got Ohio State. Are you going to show me anything this week that makes me think next week's going to be a test other than let's hope the rivalry factor gets them? Can I have something other than that to gauge how good I think Ohio State is? Because I keep going on these podcasts saying I take Ohio State versus the field, and I feel naked every time I do it. I feel absolutely naked because I don't know. I don't know it to be true. I just look at the roster and think it's foolproof. But that's been the case with that football team, I don't know, as long as I've been alive. Mm-hmm. They've always had a great roster. Mm-hmm. Always, as long as I've been alive. So I don't know nothing about them from fourth quarter, they got pushed. I don't know if Michigan's going to be able to do it, though.
Yeah, I have Michigan on here as well, the Michigan-Maryland game, because for a couple of reasons. One, like at the beginning of the year, the hype around Bryce Underwood was just everywhere. I mean, people were buying into what was happening.
This guy.
With the Wolverines and who they had at quarterback. It was at an all-time high going into that Oklahoma matchup. And then it started to teeter off a little bit. And then you go and look at the stats, and this guy has 8 passing touchdowns in heading into week 13 of the season.
NAD offense, Jonathan.
No, I know.
NAD offense,
I
not
know.
a singular dude out there except for 19.
But it's
18?
crazy.
What's he wear? 19?
18,
He wears
I believe,
19.
or whatever. But it's crazy to think that last year's Michigan passing offense had more passing touchdowns than what Bryce Underwood has at this moment in the season. Ew. And we know what that offense was like last year. So I'm interested to see, like, just kind of figure out maybe what that offense is like heading into this matchup. And if they can survive this weekend and make sure that they still have playoff hopes before they get to Ohio State.
By the way, I'm just going to go ahead and say it since we're talking about it. Anybody out here willing to part ways with their Bryce Underwood stock, just bring it this way. I'll absorb all of it. I'll buy it at, 50 cents on the dollar. I'll buy it at 90 cents on the dollar. You just come on over here, bring it on down. I'll take some of that stock. Any of you dum-dums still selling Arch Manning stock, I'll take some of that too. I'll absorb the entire market. I don't care. I do not care. I think Bryce is going to be good. Call me an idiot for thinking so. I just don't think they got a damn prayer of helping him right about now. Now, the real question up there is, since you're paying him $12 million, is Dave Portnoy and my man from the computer company, are they going to pony up some money to get you some weapons? That's the next question. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is Sharon Moore the offensive coordinator in mind to meld that together? I don't know. We don't know about that, but I believe in the quarterback. I'm not selling that stock at all. I'll be taking a peek at this Georgia Tech defense because I think they're a real concern. We've already laid that out, though. I think they're a real concern for a team that thinks they can – go win the ACC championship game and then move on and into the playoffs. It's just It's weird. I think it's a DB problem. I haven't been actually looking at it, but shit, you give up 585 yards total offense, 375 of them through the air. It's probably a DB problem.
Gotta be. I'm going to take a peek at this Nebraska-Penn State game because I'm very interested to just see how this dynamic works. And that's part of the reason why I'm taking a peek because it's not a game
You
that
like pain? You like suffering?
I don't
What
think
did
you
you
like
say?
torture?
I don't
Tell
think
me
it's
again.
What did you say?
I'm be taking a peek at this Nebraska-Penn State game.
Yeah, no, I blocked that the fuck out. It just
I don't
Nope.
think it's definitely not a game that should be consumed for longer than 5 minutes at a time.
Is this the Matt Rule Husker flag at midfield game?
But that's
Is that
what
what
I'm.
you're going
That's
for?
what I'm interested to see because there was so much talk about how Matt Rule is the next guy at Penn State, and then Matt Rule fell off horribly, and now we don't really know what Penn State's leads are. So just an interesting dynamic going on in this game for a football game that will be very, very bad.
Does Notre Dame dominate this weekend?
They should.
I'm also taking a peek at that one.
I mean, 37.5 against the Lax Bro out there at Syracuse. Is he still playing, by the way? The Lax Bro?
I don't know. Let me check.
Or as my man Collins come back, Ricky Collins, has he come back from whatever injury he was sustained with? But they were starting to Lax Bro out there for a little while. And not great. 37.5 point spread this weekend. I need Notre Dame to go out and put some firework on. That's what I need.
Let's see. Ricky Collins did play last week.
Okay. And damn, they're still favored 37.5. Ricky Collins.
Well,
must be
against
screwed,
Miami, he went 12 of 25 for 85 yards and 2 interceptions.
You know what happened? I came on this show after Steve Angeli got hurt, and I was like, you know what? If this OC gets old Ricky Collins to come out here and shred, we might need to talk about this guy for a big job.
Hey, Laxbro last week went 3 for 3 for 39 yards and a touchdown.
Laxbro might be
3 for
him.
3.
Might be him.
I'm taking a peek at Arkansas at Texas.
Oh, no. Just came to me, Jonathan. We could have a situation where we could have dual Laxbros in this football game. What's old buddy from Notre Dame that's still on the roster?
Tyler Buckner.
Oh, Tyler Buckner could be slinging the pill up 38-0 on Syracuse against the other Laxbro. Good God, the Northern Laxbros are going to be having it. Having a day watching this one.
I'm going to be taking a peek at Arkansas at Texas.
Me as
This one
well.
might turn into a full watch. This
Hell
might turn
yeah.
into a full screener.
Kind of like it did last year.
Yeah. This one might be
that's
like,
right. That was a good game.
Texas, what's going on here? So I think that with as electric as Arkansas's offense has been the entire year, now Texas's defense is good, but we also saw last weekend that they can also get worn down eventually in the second half. Now, Arkansas, they're just full-on sprint mode the entire game. So if they can kind of jump out to a little bit of a lead and then they can kind of contain themselves a little bit, this might get a little interesting for Texas.
It would be very funny for Texas to come out and, complain about scheduling, complain about how it's too hard, and then lose to 2 unranked teams on the season that are below 500. So that will be a very interesting game. And I do think there's potential to be fireworks in this. It's an exciting offense versus a really good defense. I think there's an opportunity for this to be fireworks. I'm definitely taking a peek at this game.
Does Vandy still have a chance?
Yeah, there's a way. They need
I mean,
help.
guys, they're ranked 14th.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we've always said you get out the SEC 10-2, you've got a reasonable argument to be a conference or a college football playoff team.
The only reason why Vanderbilt maybe wouldn't be is that your 2 biggest games you lost, that being against Texas and then also against Alabama, and then you picked up a win against LSU that doesn't really matter anymore. Things like that.
Bait and switch, unless it doesn't happen, already coming to fruition right here on the show. I just asked you, does Vandy have a chance? No, they don't. Stoop sneaks a sweater. Stoop sneaks a sweater out there in Music City. Kentucky takes down the doors this weekend. Kentucky, hot football team as of late, won 3 in a row. They take down the doors this weekend. You heard it here first.
Oh,
So
Unless it doesn't happen.
Are we doing unless it doesn't happen now?
That's
or-
what just happened.
Oh.
I don't know if you got more takes or peeks. You can go ahead and take y'all peek. I just wanted to dump a clip while we were here.
Probably don't need to provide any more analysis on this one, especially as to why I'll be taking a peek, but Mercer at Auburn.
Yep.
I'll be taking a peek.
Agreed. That was my last one too, J-Will.
Now, we can
Stoopy
get into
sneaking a sweater? Come on, man.
Before
Unless
we
it
get
doesn't
into
happen.
unless it doesn't happen, that Auburn game will actually be a good one to go to. I know
Yeah.
that Mercer is not the most of opponents, but that environment is a lot of fun. We've been there a couple of times now. If only there were a good way to get tickets for this game. Perhaps our friends over at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is one of our favorite apps to use for getting tickets to any live events, not just sports. They have concerts, festivals, you name it. They have over 70,000 events listed on their app/website. If you download the app, you'll see all this. They also have a very good system that they use to grade the deals on these ticket prices from 1 to 10. 10 is a very good. Look for the green dots. Great deal. Red, not so much. Probably want to stay away from that. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And best news of this all, we've got a promo code to give you.
Yes,
so if you head over there now and use promo code FilmGuy10, you'll get 10% off your next set of tickets at
I'm
SeatGeek.
taking a peek right now. Hey, you can get a ticket. And by the way, Vandy, this stadium is one of those mini stadiums in the SEC. Not a bad seat in the house, okay? You can get a seat right now, $69 over there on SeatGeek. I'm taking a look at it. Nice. $96. All the way. Hey, you can sit 6 rows up on the 50 for $236 right now over on SeatGeek. And you'll get 10% off or more using promo code FilmGuy10. We appreciate those over there. Y'all should support those who are supporting us as always. Give me some more unless it doesn't happen, boys. I got 3 more, and I already dumped the clip on one, and you already know there's some Sunday's headlines today in there.
Of course there is.
We've got a very, very highly touted 5-star that will be making his first start.
A touted 5-star, huh?
Of his college football career, and he will be doing it against a top 25 team.
Woo-wee.
Give me the Colorado Buffaloes upsetting the number 25 Arizona State Sun Devils. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Is this Julian Lewis's first start?
No, he started last week.
Second start.
Second start. First start against a ranked team.
First start that matters. You heard it here first. He takes down the Sun Devils. I like it.
You
There's
know,
a sneaky 7.5-point line there. I think Arizona State's way better than them.
Yeah,
It was interesting to see today.
Deion was also kind of coming out and saying, like, I'm the right guy for this job this week, which was interesting.
He feels hot.
I guess.
He feels the need to defend his play. I feel like Deion would be those guys that's always like, you want to fire me, go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to fire me, go ahead. If he's out here defending his performance, that's a little concerning.
Interesting.
Interesting would be the better word to use there.
You know, a lot of people in particular, and really us as well, have been very vocal about this automatic bid for the G5. Not necessarily preying on their downfall, but just voicing our opinions and making it known that we don't like how they don't have to earn it. They shouldn't be in it. Like, if you don't earn it, you shouldn't be in the playoffs. So I'm predicting this weekend that the playoffs committee, their hand is forced because this happens. James Madison loses to Washington State. USF loses to UAB. Tulane loses to Temple. And North Texas loses to Rice. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
I mean, how many of his did he just shit, or yours did he just shit all over?
None.
He just took the board. Wazoo! What did I write down here? Wazoo whizzes on a wishful JMU. You heard it here first. Washington State takes down James Madison.
Been a minute since I've heard whizzes.
Yep, they're going to whiz all over them wishful hopes out there,
I think
James
I'm
Madison.
going to re-add that to my vocab. Go take
Whizzes?
Go take a whiz.
Go take a whiz?
Yeah.
Mm.
Jay, do you have any others?
I mean, yeah, do you have any more?
I've
Would you
got-
like to steal any more?
I've got one.
I'd love to,
I've got
actually.
one. I've got one.
Why is he yelling? It's Thursday. That's what we do. Sorry.
I've got
Turn the
one,
headphones
guys.
down.
I've got one.
Yep.
Fran Brown going to walk off the field after his game on Saturday. He's going to go in the locker room. He's going to talk to his team.
Take a hot shower.
He's going to go home. He's going to kiss his wife. And what do you know what he's going to do before he goes to bed? He's going to take a shower.
Whoa!
Whoa! Yeah. If you know anything about college football, you know exactly what that means. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't
It was
happen.
around this time last year that we got that iconic quote from Fran Brown.
I'm getting washed.
After beating the Miami Hurricanes, sending them home packing. So Notre Dame.
It was this time last week that he picked a 38.5-point underdog, and it was this time last week, 2 weeks ago, he picked another 40-point underdog. You're on a roll, dude. I hope one of these hits.
Is this not?
Ah.
Is this not what unless it doesn't happen is for?
Nah, this one is for. Franklin's first. Hokies nabbed the Hurricanes with new head coach on the press box. Va Tech takes down the Hurricanes this weekend. You heard it here first.
That's a good one.
Unless it doesn't happen.
James Franklin's first.
Franklin's first, baby. Put an asterisk next to that one. Interim coach don't get that one. That's the Franklin's first.
You guys know by now, as much as I love college football, I was a hoops guy at first. That was my first love. And boy, does it make me happy to say that we got hoops on grass this weekend. We got Duke versus North Carolina, a very prestigious matchup on the hardwood. Well, I am predicting that this game looks like a basketball game when it goes across the ticker. You're going to be glancing at it and be like, oh, we got Duke versus North Carolina in basketball. No, it's a football game. So here you go. Duke wins 59 to 40 or 56 to 49.
Whoa.
You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
This man thinks Bill Belichick's offense is going to score that many points.
Duke's defense is that bad.
They are. Led by none other than Manny Diaz.
They're 101st in the country for points per game allowed.
Hey, them Friday nights, they get a little weird out there in ACC land.
They sure do.
Man, they got two poo-poos playing on Friday night this week. I don't know if you know this. Florida State taking on NC State. Friday Night Freak Fest brings another fire.
Hey, yo.
Whoa! Florida State is fed up with Norvell after a blowout loss to NC State. You heard it here first.
Friday Night Freak Fest turns into a blowout, huh?
Friday Night Freak Fest brings another firing forth. Come on with it.
Friday Night Freak Fest turns into a blowout might be the craziest sentence ever said on a sports media show I've ever heard in my life.
Come on.
All right.
Let's go.
I've got one. I think we are going to have, and I apologize to anyone associated with this state.
For absolutely nothing.
I apologize to anyone in the state of Louisiana because I'm going to predict perhaps the worst day in sports history for you. Saturday, the LSU Tigers are going to not only lose to Western Kentucky. What? Ooh, that sucks. To add insult to injury, Lane Kiffin will then come out and publicly say, I am staying with the Ole Miss Rebels. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen. That would be just devastating.
That would be something like Florida pulls off an all-time upset over Tennessee.
There's another one there. Summerall accepts the Auburn job.
Yeah.
Just doom.
The worst.
Domino.
The worst day in
stuck with
LSU
Frank
sports
Wilson.
history.
Who are they going to hire, seriously? If Summerall goes to Auburn and Lane goes to Florida, who is LSU hiring?
Coach O, baby. God. He's back in the fold. You didn't hear about this?
He's hungry again.
I don't know, but I heard Ole Miss podcast basically put themselves, if that job comes open, put themselves in the mix with, hey, we're right there in terms of a job with Florida, LSU, and Auburn. It's an interesting way of viewing yourself. All right. We good?
I got one more.
Oh. You got one more? Dump the clip, sir.
We've talked a lot about this Florida and Tennessee matchup, how it might be a really exciting matchup, how it's for some reason going to be closer than we think it should be. 3-7 team going up against top 25 team. A lot of history on the line. I think we are in store for an absolute just 2015 era Big 12 shootout. Give me both teams scoring 40 points each in this matchup. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
We'd love to see it. All right, boys, this time of the week, every week, we give you our final thoughts. Let's give them to you. Starting with this one, first and foremost. You're going to look at the slate this weekend, and you're going to be very, very disappointed. All right, and for the first time, and I think you can fact check me on this one, for the first time since week 3, I believe it is, this is the first weekend of college football in 10 weeks that does not feature 2 top 10 or top 15 matchups, and the reason being, the SEC's playing some cupcakes. So we apologize down here in SEC land that we're taking a week off from an incredibly hard schedule, one that's already ranked inside the top 10 or top 15 by every single member school, top 16 rather, for every member school. All right, we apologize for taking the week off and playing Sanford and playing Charlotte and playing these schools. We'll get back to regular scheduling program for you guys, something to watch, real good football games next week. So don't worry about it. We apologize. And for you TV networks, don't worry about it. Next year, it's all going to be taken care of. Mid-November, still going to have 10 million people watching 2 SEC premier programs going at it, while the Big Ten, is playing Purdue. So
Speaking of disappointment, I think it's such a disappointment that this Nebraska-Penn State game is what it is. We were talking about heading into this season that Nebraska might be a sleeper to win, or not win the Big Ten, but be a representative in the college football playoff. We were talking about year 3 rule. Dylan Raiola in his 2nd season as a starter. This could be a really good team. On the flip side of that, Penn State was a national title contender, top 5 team. Some people said they were the best in the country. This matchup has completely caved in on itself. No one cares about it. No one's talking about it, so much so that when you even mention it, people gag, rightfully so. So This is a very disappointing thing for me because I think this could have been one of these matchups that we go, oh, at least we're getting this matchup this week. This will be exciting, and it's not.
It certainly would have been one of these where, if everything went right for Penn State, we get down to this part of the season where Penn State has 1 or 2 losses, and we're talking about James Franklin being back in the playoff. This is one you circle, and it's like, hey, this is an interesting one for them to make sure that they make the playoff. They got to get past Nebraska.
Or it could have been, had Penn State fallen apart and Nebraska still been worth something. I think this could have been this is a big game to pay attention to because Matt Rule might be leaving Nebraska to take this Penn State job. But we lose to Minnesota. We have to pretend as if we're really, really happy where we're at, or as if that other story was just fugazi and we wanted to be at Nebraska the entire time. Whatever the real story was, I think there would have been an opportunity for this game to have meant much more if Nebraska would have held their end of things. It's not just Penn State's, really, like you mentioned, with both schools. I want to go over to Mizzou at OU. It's 11 a.m. local kick for these two football teams out there in Norman. Question for you, boys. What's more likely, Matt Zollers throws for 300 yards in this football game, or OU plays the unedited version of Mini Men by 50 Cent at the start of the fourth quarter?
Ooh. The latter.
Probably the Matt
The
Zollers
latter.
one.
You think the Matt Zollers one?
Yeah, dude, you can't have profanity like that.
I don't know, dude.
Still more likely to happen than
300
Zollers.
yards against Oklahoma from Zollers.
That is true. Both are very unlikely to happen.
You don't think it's possible that – I think it's way more possible that some jamoke sneaks into the audio box room and hooks his phone up to the aux.
Hey,
and
blood,
starts
let me
playing.
get that ox right quick.
No, doesn't even ask for permission. He just gets in there somehow and does it himself. That's way more likely than Matt
hacks
Zollers
the
going for 300.
Bluetooth.
Yeah. I mean, come on. That's way more likely.
Today was speaking of pranks, that would be an awesome prank. Today was the anniversary of the MIT folks pranking a balloon to magically arrive from the middle of the grass in between MIT and Yale game. That was nuts.
College football has been amazing forever. Like, for its
Always.
eternity. It has
Classic
always been
DKE.
amazing.
Mizzou in big time trouble out there in that football game, in my opinion. That's my final.
I put this as a, just one of these classic, don't feel like you can take a breath now, Oklahoma. Don't feel like that this is the weekend or even next weekend, that now is the time where, we get to lick our wounds a little bit. We got through the gauntlet. Yeah, you did get through the gauntlet, and you did so with the playoffs still right in front of you. You're an 8 seed right now. If you just take care of business, you are going to be in the playoffs. So don't feel like that this is the weekend or next week is the weekend where, hey, we can kick our feet up a little bit. We're going to be all right. Everything's taken care of. No. Don't do that to yourself. Don't rip that away from yourself because you decided that this was an off day for you.
Well, I love that. My final thought on this was, and it kind of rings with the sentiment that you just said, it feels like the entire country just said, okay, Oklahoma can kick their feet up after beating Bama. We believe they're a top 10 team. They're in the playoff. They're guaranteed for all that. And that just feels a little too obvious for me. And on top of all this, I said this earlier, the way that Oklahoma has been winning games does not feel sustainable to me. Our offense is fine. John Mateer makes enough plays for us, but where we really get points is from turnovers and pick sixes and our defense making things happen. It doesn't feel sustainable to me. This might not be the game where it blows up in their face, but I think Oklahoma has another loss on the regular season waiting for them.
Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Let's head out to Autzen Stadium. My final thought on this Big Ten matchup between USC and Oregon is that there's no way the Big Ten should let Oregon lose this football game. That's my take. But in all seriousness, I think Oregon must be the much better team. This is the smelliest line of all lines this year.
Oh,
for
yeah,
me.
big time.
Because I feel like these two teams are evenly matched. I feel like they both have really talented quarterbacks with really balanced offenses that are predicated off running the ball first. I think they have really good lines of scrimmage for both these football teams. I think both defenses are playing competent, winnable football. I don't see a 9.5-point spread. Vegas does. I would assume Oregon must roll because of it.
Yeah, on a similar sentiment right there. This line has remained steady at 10.5 throughout the entire week so far.
It opened at 9.5. It went north.
It's 10.5 right now, and it's remained around that range. So obviously Vegas knows something, and they're holding strong to that. Whatever it is that they know, they are not budging or moving off of that at the moment. So the final word that I want to give on this one is I think Oregon rolls. I'm going to trust that. I think Oregon might win this one big time.
I do think USC has the best playmaker in that football game.
I agree.
For sure.
But Kai Lemon could win that game by himself.
For sure.
I feel like it's happened for them a couple of times this year.
I want to move on to this Tennessee-Florida game. And my thought on this is that I don't agree this should happen. I don't necessarily think that it should be this way, but Josh Heupel is going to come out of this game either one of the most well-loved men in Knoxville, Tennessee, or the most hated. And there will not really be an in-between as to what the results are.
Kirby, I don't even think there is a most loved scenario out of this. I think if they beat the shit out of Florida on Saturday night, it's going to be a what could have been type of discussion around that. I don't think there is a win here. I think there's only a lose for this guy at that position out there at Tennessee right about now, and it's because of what happened against Oklahoma. It's because of what happened in the red zone situations against Alabama. It's because of what happened late in the football game against Georgia. They have lost tight football games. If they don't go, even if they do go down there and handle business at a really, really high rate, I think they'll say they'll be thankful that they beat Florida for the first time since 2003 down there in Gainesville. But if they beat the hell out of them, I really do think there's going to be some damn what could have been with this fan base. For me, it's a coach checker football game, man. Like, I have spoken very, very highly about Josh Heupel for a long time on this network. I think really, really highly of him as a football coach. I think he is the guy for Tennessee. That being said, if you don't win this one, buddy, I'm going to start questioning my own processes about you. I'm going to be honest. Especially if it's like the way that you lose them. If you lose this game in the 2-minute drill, if you lose this game in red zone turnovers, if you lose this game because you can't tackle, if you lose this game because you've got 12 penalties on the road, we're going to have a talk about you on Sunday.
I want to have a chat with Tennessee fans ahead of this matchup because I am not seeing great things from that fan base on the timeline. Yesterday, we had a Tennessee fan in our chat say that he had like a 30% chance feeling that Tennessee would win this game. And then I get on Twitter today and I see a quote tweet from a Tennessee fan talking about how this is the least excited that they have been for a Tennessee-Florida matchup, one of the biggest rivalries in the Southeastern Conference, and the fans aren't even excited for it. So I just want to remind Tennessee fans, like, I don't think you have the right, or I don't think you should be feeling this way heading into this season because you think that just because your playoff hopes are done that you don't have to care about the season anymore. Like, considering what you guys have gone through, considering the fact that you guys went 14 straight seasons, this is recent, 14 straight seasons without a 10-win year, I don't think that you get to sit here and be, woe is me, we don't care about football anymore just because the playoff hopes are out the window, just because you guys aren't set to make the playoffs for back-to-back years under Josh Heupel. Considering where you guys were and were for a very long time, like, you guys have an opportunity, Josh Heupel has an opportunity to deliver back-to-back 10-win seasons for the first time since 2004. Shit. Now, I know that you have 7 wins right now, but win the next 2 games, make a bowl game, and win it, that's 10 wins. For the first time since 2004, you guys don't get to check out of seasons right now because you didn't make the playoffs this year. Be happy with what you have right now. Just be happy with it.
When was they're about to go 3 out of 4. They're about to go 3 out of the last 4 years going 10 wins. When's the last time that football program's done that? Shit, what football programs have? What football programs right now in college football can say they have won 10 games 3 out of the last 4 years? Shit, what is it? Georgia? It's Ohio State? Alabama can't say this right now. What are we doing? I'm with you. There is no reason to be out here, oh, it's been basketball season. It's Rick Barnes time. What you talking about? No. Y'all got a chance to do something you ain't done since 2003. I'm with you, man. Like, hey, not to mention, you got a little brother coming to town next week. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all can't be checking out. Vandy's coming to town next week. They're a ranked football team. They're ranked ahead of you. You got opportunities on all their parades. Like, what are y'all doing? Yeah, I'm with you. That's a great point on, look, we don't like to call out fan bases because Lord knows we do things that people don't. We're not unanimously liked. Like, most people trying to do this national thing are just trying to be unanimously loved all the time. We're going to say something to make you feel some type of way every once in a while. But that is a tremendous challenge to a fan base that needs it. I want to go to this Kentucky and Vanderbilt game. I'm going to absolutely slam the under in this football game. Absolutely slam the under in this football game. If this game were played at Kentucky, I think there might be 9 total possessions in this one. But it's played at Vandy. But it doesn't really matter. Both these teams are trying to anaconda the clock for 4 quarters in this one. There might be 14 total possessions. Hammer the under in this one. Vandy might squeak at 17-14.
Accurate for any Kentucky football game.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you need to add to that one.
I do want to have a final point about this Georgia Tech-Pittsburgh game. Not a elongated one, but just a little bit of a reminder of Pittsburgh is ranked 12th in the country for scoring offense, so just know that. And then compile that with the fact that that Georgia Tech's defense right now has struggled mightily over the last few weeks specifically. So just be aware, like, don't be shocked if this one turns into another shootout with Georgia Tech and Pittsburgh. Like, this shouldn't be a surprise because I think that people associate Pittsburgh with they got a staunch defense, all that good stuff. Like these guys have been putting up points in this conference, just like Georgia Tech has. I think that Tech might be in trouble.
I got one final thought. I called that Tennessee at Florida game a coach checker football game. We got a culture checking football game this weekend out there in Austin, Texas. Hey, just had your soul ripped out in the fourth quarter to the tune of what, 28 points from Georgia's offense?
21 unanswered.
21 unanswered in the fourth quarter alone. Had your hearts ripped out, had your playoff hopes pooped on right there on national television on Maine. Now, you got an Arkansas football team that if you're not careful, especially with the way that your defensive backs have played for the last 3 football games, if you're not careful, they'll put up 35 points. All right, they're a top 25 offense in this sport. They've played like poop the last couple weeks, but that don't mean they can't get you. If this is a we don't care, we're only a championship effort football team when championship results are on the table for us, it's going to show up like a sore thumb on Saturday out there in Austin. So pay attention. This is a culture-checking football game. And I, for one, because I like when Texas is really, really good, people say things that, oh, the sport's too big for any one program. Bull crap. This network needs Texas to be damn good. This network needs Texas to be around for everything. All right? And I'm honest and forthcoming in telling you that. I want it to work for Sark. We better work this culture and check this culture box this weekend and, for that matter, moving forward. I know y'all going to be up for A&M because that's a rivalry game. Y'all going to be up for this one, too, or they'll get you. We good?
Mm-hmm. Good.
Let's go to the local hour. We'll see you on the other side. We got a whole nother hour.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog?
What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in. Last hour, best hour. Let's knock out these super chubs before we get into this local hour. Got some of these national folks hanging around, paying good money to do so. Rodney Carey says, I'm back. Big time super chub from Rodney Carey. Appreciate my man right here. Says, I'm back and so are my Tide. Minor hiccup against an elite front seven, to say the least. See y'all in Atlanta in 2 weeks. Much love to the boys and happy belated Mr. Diddy.
Mr. Diddy.
Hey, cuidado, Poppy. Cuidado. Y'all got a night game out there at Jordan-Hare. Come on now. Don't be just looking past the T-Grace. I think that's a little disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. It's confident.
Confident should be. Probably going to be favored by 17 points, but hey. Nah.
That'll be
6.5?
Yeah, probably like a touchdown.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the next one. Tyler Salva 858 says, didn't catch y'all live yesterday, but thank you for J-Will for bringing up my Mercer Bears. We're putting up 520.7 yards per game, number 1 in all of D1. If our defense can get some stops against Auburn, we got a shot.
Hey, game recognizes game, all right?
Mercer Bears, my secondary choice. Well, to be honest, I would have been at Mercer had I not been 21 on the board. I was 21. They only took 20 that class. At least that's what Coach told me. I was probably 17 number 21s. You know what I mean? They probably gave that phone call. You just missed the cut. They probably gave that phone call 100 different times. Yeah. We went to Shorter, though. Loved it while we were there. All right, let's go on with it. Zach Branch Feeds Family says, if UGA beats Tech badly, does this hurt their college football chances? At this point, I don't even know if the ACC championship game, conference game helps, as they have nothing on their resume. So I believe he is a Tech fan asking us that. I am of the belief that if you get your doors blown off by Georgia and then handle the ACC champ, they still might put you in.
Yeah, because they'd still be ranked, you would think. Like, I don't think that Georgia Tech would fall completely out of the rankings even if they get blown out of Georgia. Like, they might fall to 24 or 25, but still would be ranked. Therefore, if you win the ACC championship game, you would think that you would be ranked ahead of whichever. Like, you'd be fine, in my opinion.
My thing is to make this format don't lose to unranked teams and have a winning record against ranked teams. So if you beat Pitt, you can lose to Georgia and win the ACC, and you'll have a better ranked record. So I think you'll be okay.
Scorched 13 MD says Texas isn't back. 910 Cooper says, Brooks, please sit down. My kids are scared. Rah! No.
That's crazy.
Thursday, I'm standing up, moving forward. I get so tired of sitting down. I feel like my takes are better standing up. I feel like I'm hot on my feet.
I think that's called.
I have a lot more fun, too.
I think that's the placebo effect.
Placebo?
Yeah.
What's that mean? Just kidding. Reality_witness says FGN rocks. Ain't that right, boys?
That's
Amen.
right.
Ain't that right, boys? Do you think we should continue this trend and go ahead and knock out some Discord Q&A?
Might as well, yeah.
Let's do this. For those of you who don't know, patreon.com/Brooks Austin is the way that you can get in on the action with regards to this Discord. Love this Discord. Have met some lifelong friends in this Discord. Yes, you can meet friends on the internet. I know that sounds crazy, but, or colleagues. How about that? Let's get to the top of it. I put it in the Discord. Hey, shoot me some questions that you want answered during the local hour over there. Again, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. Got quite a bit of them, so let's get to the top. First one comes from my man MJ8232002. He asked, how do you have so much aura? I don't believe I do. What's your ideal game plan for Georgia heading into the playoff? What's your ideal plan, like layout? Like, what would you prefer? I think we talked about this the other night. Get that 5th seed, welcome James Madison to town, beat their doors off by 38, and then go get whoever's on your side of the bracket.
I would love for Georgia to be the 5 seed, get the G5 team in Athens. You get a home playoff environment at Georgia. You get a nice, hopefully easy win there, and then you move on to your next game. I think that, and you miss the SEC championship game. Like, that is the most desirable layout for Georgia in the playoffs.
I've been thinking about this. I kind of want Georgia to go to the SEC championship because, one, if you win that, you're guaranteed a first-round bye, but we could see a Gunnar Stockton Heisman run if that's the case. If you play well against Charlotte, have a good first half, have a good game against Georgia Tech, and then win the SEC championship, there might be an opportunity for you to win this thing. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that need to happen for you to help, but selfishly, I'd like to see that.
Hot take. I would love for that to happen. Not hot take, opinion. I would love for that to happen because I would get to travel and cover the event. I didn't get to last time. For reasons we don't even have to talk about, but I wasn't allowed to last time. So this time, even if last time, I don't even know if I would have gone because I would have been like, oh, he's going to finish 3rd. But I didn't have the ability.
4th.
I didn't even have the ability to make that decision. This time, I would like the chance. That would be really, really cool. Even though it cost a whole hell of a lot of money to travel to New York in early December, but who gives a shit? Let's see here. What areas does Pug need to improve? General decision-making and turnover proneness. Yeah. We'll see that this weekend.
And a little touch on the ball.
Yeah, a little touch on the ball. But I think that's – a lot of that is it's open now. I better put it on him now. I don't trust it to be open if I layer this football. That comes with time, I think. And just general nerves, right?
Right.
Like you swing it harder at the tee box when you're nervous.
Yeah.
When you're nice and smooth, you have a good, easy stroke. It's a little bit different. Hey, yo. Questions about Isaiah Gibson. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not get a lot of day-to-day updates on true freshmen. We either get, hey, so-and-so is about to get some playing time because he's balling in practice like we heard about Zayden Walker or like we've heard about other freshmen in years prior. But this is a situation where he is developing behind closed doors, and they keep it that way. So we'll find out more this weekend, I would imagine, assuming they get up on Charlotte like they're supposed to. What defensive lineman has kicked it up a notch in the second half of this season? That comes from our man Sissi.
I'd say Josh Horton has.
I got a different answer. You probably got the same one.
What was the question?
What defensive lineman stepped it up the second half of the season?
Ooh, second half of the season.
He's a freshman. He wears 90. It's Elijah Griffin. He's played great football the last 3 or 4 games.
Very true.
I mean, comfortable. Like, explosive.
I feel like people –
disruptive.
Like, I would put Josh Horton, Xavier McLeod, like those guys, I would kind of put them in the same group of, like, they just been good football players the whole year. Like, they haven't gone above, they haven't gone below that. They've just been good football players for you. Elijah Griffin has been stacking days since the beginning of the season, and now you're starting to see him tick, tick, tick above everybody else.
What does the system look like next year in the linebacker room when CJ is gone? It's not just going to be CJ. It's probably going to be CJ and Raylan, we would imagine, right?
You would think, but you never know.
You never know. I I presume if you're draft eligible at Georgia and you've started for multiple years since your true freshman year, you've been playing, probably got a top 100 eval.
Yeah,
at the linebacker position.
I think the
at
only
this
one
point
to not do that was Smile.
Yeah,
he was coming off injury.
I think it's irresponsible to assume that good football players are coming back. Especially, we learned this lesson as analysts last year. I couldn't imagine how they feel as a staff. We learned this with Terry Ingram-Dawkins last year. Like, you can never assume anyone's coming back at this program.
Trevor Etienne, too.
Learned it with Trevor Etienne. You cannot ever assume that a player that's played meaningful minutes for you is ever not going to get a high draft pick. One of these NFL programs is probably going to think highly of them. So I have laid out the possibility for the first time since I've covered this football team where you might need to go into the transfer portal for a linebacker because you guys play 4. Terrell Foster graduates. You could lose Raylan. You're probably going to lose CJ. So now you're looking at it's like, all right, next year Justin Williams is going to start. Chris Cole's going to start. That means Zayden Walker better be ready to play off-ball linebacker next year, and Anthony Crua better be ready to play off-ball linebacker next year. There's your 4. If any of those 2 young football players are not ready to play, you got to go get somebody. Also, you probably need to go get somebody anyways because you're 1 injury from being thin.
One
See what I'm
injury
saying?
from Nick Abrams being the answer.
Yeah, 1 injury from Nick Abrams having to play as a true freshman, which is, again, not out of the ordinary, not crazy. Could be good enough to do so. I would lean on the side of safety with regards to taking extra bodies. You always want to have more than you bargain for. Second and third string players to watch out for against Charlotte. What do you say, boys?
I mean, I would say that there's a handful of them. I think that really in the secondary, you could really pay attention to a few people. Like, I think the biggest thing, I know I've shown a lot of love to Rayshawn Dinkins. That seems like a player that might be playing star for Georgia in the future. Mm-hmm. So that might be something crucial to look after. Obviously, a guy like Dominic Kelly. Really, the wide receiver room as well. I think that's the biggest one of, like, those are going to be because you're going to lose quite a few guys out of that wide receiver room this year. So those are the guys that are going to be starting for you and playing meaningful snaps for the entire year. Seeing what those guys look like are the biggest thing that you should be paying attention to.
The biggest one for me is Daniel Calhoun. What does he look like against, lesser than talent? How does he look in this system? How does he just look as a player overall? I think that's going to determine a lot of what they do in the offseason.
Oh, I love this question. Somebody asked me if my 5-finger sauces have changed. It's a tremendous question. And prepare yourselves for this as well, gentlemen. If your 5 fingers could dispense any condiment or sauce for the rest of your life, what would your 5 fingers be? Got to go sugar-free ketchup. It's just a staple for me. Probably go Taco Mac Original Ranch. Give me some Heinz 57 for when ketchup just doesn't do it. Probably take some McDonald's barbecue sauce. That's that gas. And then for a 5th, maybe give me some Louisiana hot sauce. Gotta get something to kick it up.
Got to go ketchup. Ketchup has to be one of them.
Sugar-free?
Sure. That's fine with me.
I
don't mind that at all.
Stay away.
I'd go honey mustard. I don't really care where it's from, but just some good honey
Arby's
mustard.
got good honey mustard.
So we'll go with Arby's honey mustard. I would say Texas Pete hot sauce. That's my preferred choice right there. I'd go some type of ranch. I kind of am torn between which ranch I would choose from. There's a few good ones out there, but just give me like good homemade ranch.
Are you a thick ranch or a creamy ranch guy? You know what I'm talking about? There's some runny ranches out there. Are you more of a thick ranch or a runny ranch guy?
It depends. Like, I want a more runny ranch for my wings. Ooh. I don't want a runny ranch for salad. Like, I like a little thicker ranch if I'm going to eat a salad with it. And then my 5th one.
If it's coming out of your finger, probably the liquid ranch.
You think so.
And
then the 5th one, I'd want a vinegar-based barbecue sauce.
Ooh. I like that. What you got for me, Curb?
Ketchup, mustard, Zach sauce.
Ooh.
OG Zach sauce.
Buffalo sauce, and Frank's Red Hot.
It's got to be the OG Zach sauce.
I put that shit on everything.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, boys. Should we get into show topics and come back to these Discord questions a little bit later?
Let's
We've got a plethora of those guys to get to. All right, welcome into Local Hour. We got a loaded one for you. Unless it doesn't happen, commitment alert, ? We might be watching some film tonight. Wheel of topics, Georgia commit shooting up the boards. We're going to set the props tonight as well. But let's start with some recruiting news. For those of you who don't know, Blake Stewart is a safety, a defensive back out of Woodward Academy here in Atlanta. He is on an official visit this weekend. He was on a visit last weekend for the Texas football game. Was he formally committed somewhere else?
He was committed to Clemson.
He was committed to Clemson. He has since decommitted and opened up his recruitment process. I'll tell it. I'm connected to this young man. I have been for a long time. Full of transparency, Blake Stewart spent his first couple of years in high school at Landmark Christian School, where I went to high school. So he was put on my radar very, very early. As a true freshman at Landmark, he started both ways. He was a corner and a wide receiver at 6'1", 185 pounds as a 14-year-old freshman. When you hear something like that about your alma mater and you're in my position, you would be a fool to not help promote that young man and send him to every football coach you possibly could, like I normally do for young men in Blake Stewart's situation. And I actually got this young man his first visit to the University of Georgia. Sent him off to several different coaches. Georgia bit on the hook early and got him on an unofficial visit for G-Day, I think in 2023. That would have been his first visit at the University of Georgia. And it's looking like right about now he is going to commit to the University of Georgia.
Wow.
It looks like Georgia is the ultimate favorite to do that one. So a great kid, comes from a great family, plays really, really high-level football, and is tough, all right, and plays a lot. All right, has played a lot of high school football, but was also heavily involved in the 7-on-7 circuit and played it at a really, really high rate. Let's put this lab microphone on and go look at this tape. I haven't seen this in quite some time in terms of his high school tape, so let's go take a look at it.
I have seen where a few people have thrown around like he's a little KJ Bolden-ish, and I was wondering why, and then you rattled off the fact that he's playing DB and wide receiver, so that makes sense in that regard.
Frame as well.
Okay.
That's why they'll do that. 6'1.5", 185, 195 pounds. Long, linear athlete that's not as thick as some safeties are. The other thing about this football player that you should know is that he started his high school career as a bump and run corner. All right, is really, really highly trained as a corner. All right, so you'll see him probably getting involved with his lid down here as a safety as an upperclassman, you would imagine. No, it's probably some ball skills right here, one-handed. Come on.
This is senior year highlights.
You know what else I love automatically off rip? And Kirby, you know, you got good opinions on this. We got good drip. We got really, really good drip. I'm a big proponent of the drip. Now we're going to see some offensive clips right here. The one-arm sleeve, the back pad out with the towel, and the spat, and the pull-away speed on a Carrollton High School football team that you know has really, really good football players. Caught it away from his body, too. You'd love to see good natural hands.
Catches the ball very well.
Decent knee drive right there as he opens it up in open field. Ooh, a little spike. We'd love to see that. Love to see that.
Is that not a penalty now?
What are they? Is this man? This has got to be man, right?
Maybe, unless it's too high and they're just giving a big
or quarter. Yeah,
big
quarters
cushion
maybe.
at the
It's
bottom.
quarters. That's what it is. You're right. So he's going to drive down his stick. All right, the reason I was trying to figure it out is I'm trying to get his responsibilities here. All right, so he's got run fits here, by the way. They're an empty. They're playing quarters as a defense. So his first responsibility is to sit, not necessarily flat-footed, but not give ground or gain ground. See what's happening in front of him. He's got run fits, and he's got to take over the top if anybody presses into his void. He gets into his pedal, realizes the play's in front of him, and goes and plays with physicality. That's what it's supposed to look like right there. I'm assuming we're going to, all right. Hey, by the way, we're going to strip this football out, aren't we? All right, let me tell you a little something. See, this is why I think everybody that's in this beat can do this, but this is why it's really, really important to know all of these schools. Do you know who this guy is running this football?
Derrick Henry?
No, well, yeah, basically. That's Duce, okay? That is the Oregon defensive line commit. I think he just committed to Oregon. Will you look up the state of Georgia football players? The defensive lineman, Deuce Geralds is his name, from Collins Hill. He's a 6'3", 265-pound defensive tackle that Collins Hill plays at running
LSU.
back. All right, so he's an LSU commit. Now, the reason I tell you that, you can see he's obviously big as you know what. We don't ever want to tackle this guy. And we need to know that he is not comfortable or not routinely carrying the football. So we got an opportunity for a strip right here. This is huge. This is football awareness right here. And obviously the recovery speed to do so. Great punch out right there. Great rip. What's their record out there at Woodward? Will you check that for me? Are they winning games this year? Because they play a tough schedule because nobody really wants to schedule them out of conference in their division. They have to play up, basically. They're, I think, a 4A school that, they're playing Collins Hill right here. It's a 6A school.
9-2, 7-0 in region.
Yeah. So they're still playing playoff football right now, huh?
Let me double check. Yes, they play Statesboro.
All right. At Woodward this weekend? Oh, crib this.
The
Crib this.
instincts.
Crib this.
Yeah, he's cribbing that.
Bro, how about the mismatched cleats right there, Kurt?
I like it.
It's a neutral site game.
Properly packaged, my dear. A neutral site game, huh? Oh, I know why that is. High pointed that really, really well. I mean, we still got 4 minutes left of this sucker. Hey, that's a damn good football player. You know why that is? Why they're playing a neutral site game?
Why is that?
There's a rule in GHSU football that if you're most of these southern schools debunk this, or not debunk this, they call this into action quite often, so they don't have to travel as far. If your high school stadium does not reach a certain capacity, you can't host playoff games.
Ah.
So if you can't bring temporary stands in, I think the number is, honest to God, I think it's like 12,000.
Jeez.
It's quite a lot. And like I said, these southern high school football teams are
Makes sense.
I'm not traveling all the way up there. And we have a reason to make this a neutral. So where did they end up neutral in it?
It didn't say.
It's probably the Southwest DeKalb Stadium down there in Atlanta. I've honest to God, this happened. I watched a quarterfinal, 6A, 7A, back-to-back quarterfinals in the Southwest DeKalb Stadium a couple years ago because both schools enacted this rule. It was Milton versus Langston Hughes, and then I turned right around and watched Caleb Downs play somebody else. So you're watching semifinal football game back-to-back in one location as an analyst.
That's pretty sick.
That it was, but it also was sad.
Yeah.
Because those games should feel differently. They should feel like they're back at home. You should feel like it should feel like Valdosta. That's what it should feel like.
Yeah.
That's what high school home games should feel like in playoff time. So
Absolutely agree.
there's that. They're saying they're playing a home game. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal.
Max Preps just said for a neutral playoff game. So that's just what I was taking that based off of.
Scrolling through a couple more of these questions from Discord. Somebody photoshopped a photo of me with an Alabama bucket hat on top of me. I don't know why that is in there. We don't talk about transfers, bud. Jamil Sire. I'm sorry. We don't do that. Which players have emerged as future impact players?
Elijah Griffin is certainly one of them. It was very early in the season, and you haven't gotten to see a lot of him because of injury, but Ethan Barber.
Barbour.
Is it Barbour or is it Barber? I don't know.
I thought Kirby pronounced it Barbour.
I heard him pronounce it both ways, I think. But I don't know. Whatever it is. But him. I mean, it was.
You know who I'll text? I'll text his head football coach.
It was very obvious early on in the
Kirby,
season.
not Kirby, his
head
high school football
coach.
coach. Even though, not Kirby.
It was very evident early on in the season that they wanted that guy to be an impact player. Like when you're getting that amount of snaps within the first couple weeks of the season as a true freshman, they obviously think very highly of you.
I mean, Elias Williams also fits this bill
Elias
perfectly.
Williams
I think you're already
definitely.
seeing the impact that he's making, but next year when Oscar Delp is no longer on the roster, we don't know what Lawson Lucky's going to do, but, good players, you assume they're gone. Like, it's going to be the Elias Williams show along with Ethan, so they're two very big impact
Zayden
players.
Walker feels this way at the moment.
Talon Taylor. Good God.
Taylor Tyler's
You know what?
a new one. Yeah, it's Thursday.
It's not even the end of the month, dude.
I don't give
It's
a
the last
shit.
Thursday of the
It's
month. though.
earned. It's earned. I mean,
For show-wise, yes.
I think we have broken a number of football brain records this week. It has to be.
Yeah, you've hit a
We're
couple
through
of
the
them.
roof.
You didn't break both foot, though.
Although we do have 34 minutes left. It's a little early for this, but you know what? Barbour.
Okay.
Barbour.
Okay. Ethan Barbour.
Barbour.
He's definitely going to be a high-impact player.
For sure.
If you could add any one player from another team to UGA's roster, who would it be?
From any year?
I think this is just any player from any other team. So if you could poach a player, who would you poach?
If you could poach a player,
If you could poach a player, who would you poach?
Ooh.
Ruben Bain from Miami.
It's not a bad one right there.
Yanze Pierre from Alabama.
That's a
That's a
good
good
one as
one.
well.
just remove all ability for them to rush the passer. Now, obviously, Quay Rousseau's coming back, but that's the other thing I would think about there is, like, who could I steal that they need? Like, yeah, we get a year of Colin Simmons. That'd be cool. But,
Oh, you're doing this from how can I screw over a team? Huh?
well, yeah.
I like
it's not
this.
just what do we need, but who can I take from
I didn't
you?
even
Colin
think. Of,
Simmons is a good one.
I didn't even think of this avenue. I might want to change my answer.
Honestly, I'd probably say Caleb Downs.
Caleb
I think
Downs
that
is a
would
good
do
one.
a lot of work for Georgia's defense.
But you only get him for like 4 games.
Yeah, I don't care.
Hmm.
If you give me KJ Bolden and Caleb Downs right now in the
Chat saying
secondary,
Jeremiah Love's a good shout.
yeah, but you have 2 good running backs. Like
I think would Bama give up all 3 of those wide receivers for Jeremiah Love?
Not all 3. Not
just
all
scrap
3.
it.
Have you seen the way the freshmen have been playing out there? The Brooks kid's pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, they have a very good receiving core.
Every,
All right,
maybe
all right.
outside of Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah, all right. I give them Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, the young Brooks kid. We get Jeremiah Love. Who says no? Notre Dame, quickly. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Bama fans would probably take that honestly.
What needs to happen to get us back to fielding the dominant defenses like the 21 and 22 teams? Sanford's son.
NIL to disappear.
Yeah, we can do that, but I would go another route. Okay, like get an edge rusher, and get a Malachi Starks on your defense, like at the safety level. Now KJ's moving into that, but we got 12 months left for KJ to turn into this before he is an elite draft pick.
You know what's interesting? They didn't have just an all-worldly elite player in the secondary in 2021. They had very good players. Darian Kendrick, very good player. Keely Ringo, good player. Lewis Seen, first-round pick. And Chris Smith, obviously a very, very good player. But it wasn't like they had, my God, these guys are game changers on the field in the secondary that year.
They just had like Chris Smith was just a football savant. Like that was who he was as a guy. And because of that, he was such a big playmaker for Georgia's secondary. Darian Kendrick was such an instinctual corner for Georgia that year and provided a veteran presence. Bro, what?
That's so wrong.
That's a horrible picture.
I know. Who did that to me?
Let's see if we can edit it.
Who did that to me?
That's awful.
That's
Are
crazy.
you pointing at yourself in the picture too?
Yeah, because I think people were waving at me, and I was like, who, me? And, yeah, they were waving at me, and I got flicked by somebody else, and then somebody in the Discord put a Bama lid on me. That's crazy.
Bama Brooks, man.
Oh, we got more questions on here. That's on me. All right, let's take one more before we get into, I guess, set the props. Hell, I'm fine with taking this the rest of the show. I don't give a damn. This is good stuff. What is the mobility difference between Stockton, Pug, Montgomery, and Curtis? All right, let's rank this. Let's go Stockton, then probably Curtis, and then probably Puglisi. I'd go high school Puglisi before the injuries.
Yeah.
Now go Puglisi, but really close to Curtis. And then dead last, like way down on the bottom, Ryan Montgomery. Now, before Mike Montgomery starts to send me all the hooping clips, I know, like Ryan's a good hooper, but I think Ryan's barbecue chicken on the block hooper. I don't think Ryan's hooper. Do we all understand that?
I understand, yes.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a bad athlete, but
No,
just
no,
saying
no.
like compared to the rest of the guys in the room.
Big post play guy.
Yeah.
Give it to me
Hey,
on the block.
Like Carson Beck type.
No.
Better?
No. Buddy, Carson Beck could probably have played at like the Citadel or like Furman as a shooting guard. Like, he could hoop. He could yam too. I think, like, dude, he was a Florida commit at shortstop in baseball.
Yeah.
Carson just looks like he labors, and because he's so big, he's a good athlete. Better athlete than Ryan, in my opinion.
Okay.
But Ryan, great processor. Georgia quarterback is what it sounds like from Ryan. When I hear Kirby Smart talk about him, I'm like, that's a Kirby Smart quarterback. It's just cerebral.
Love to have it.
Give him a lot kind of guy. You can give him a lot. He's got a good processor. You know? Let's see here. What are the brightest future units on the team since they are so young?
Corner.
Corner, wide receiver.
Is corner going to corner's going to remain the issue for a little while because we all believe Dominic Kelly's the next superstar. around here.
Linebacker's still pretty bright at the moment with what you have in the room, like who's returning next year and what you're bringing on. Like, it's still a very bright room, as it always is.
Offensive line?
I mean,
You feel that way? At
Juan
least for
and
two of them?
Donnie, we know, but we just don't know what the rest looks like yet. We don't know if like how that's going to work the next year,
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a lot to be excited about with who Stacey Searles has recruited and gotten to commit over the last 2 years. I think there's a lot to be excited about there.
Which team matches up best and worst versus UGA in current playoff bracket? So I think there are two football teams that I would be worried about. Like I would not know how to pick them. First of all, I'd pick Ohio State versus Georgia tomorrow if I had to. I would pick Alabama against Georgia tomorrow because of principle, but not because I think they're a better football team, but just because of principle. And then guys, I like Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is you. I think y'all are the same football team. I think y'all do the same things really, really well. I think the way that you are built is relatively identical. You have better football players, though, from an all-over standpoint. I think they have a bigger superstar, though, in Jeremiah Love. Is that fair?
That's fair.
You've been in here every Notre Dame film study that we've done. It's like watching you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels that way at times.
From what we talk about, like the way that they win games. They out-execute, they out-line of scrimmage, they out-control the clock, they you make more mistakes than them, they execute better. It's like watching the same team to me with different personnel, different schematics, same identity. Which player groups have shown the most growth throughout the year? I would go DB room.
DB has shown a lot of growth.
Guys, we left Tennessee, y'all wanting to fire everybody in the room and say Ellis Robinson's a scrub.
And it's almost like we also told you guys, like, hey, Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones are great players. They're only going to get better throughout the year. And what do you know? Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones have both gotten even better as the season has progressed, especially when you talk about like early in the year, you face the three of the best passing offenses in the country. Those guys got tested early. And now you get down to this point of the season, it's like, wow, those guys are playing great ball.
This doesn't necessarily pertain to the room because it's only one guy, but the development Gunnar Stockton has had is arguably the best in the country. From week one to where they are now, I can't find a player that has developed more, per se. So I also think that the running back room deserves a shout-out for what Chauncey Bowens has become and what Nate Frazier has done in the last 4 or 5 games. I mean, he has been a great, great asset to this offense.
Jamil Sire wants to know, what would UGA's record be if they played Ohio State's schedule? Well, they're undefeated in hypotheticals, but we do have a common opponent.
Texas.
And Ohio State at home, both wise. And, yeah, Ohio State, first time starting for Julian Sand, but first time starting for Arch Manning. I would argue Arch Manning playing 10 times better football right about now than he was to start the season. We all could agree there unanimously, I would think. So, yeah, Georgia would be 11-0, and they would have beaten Texas way worse than Ohio State beat Texas.
Well, they'd be 10-0.
10-0 on the way to 12.
They'd be undefeated like Ohio State is.
Yeah. So. Jamil was getting shots up in the Discord. Not sure if you touched on it yet, but what's going on with Thorson's punting on Saturday night? I think that was, like he says, was that part of the plan to keep it out of Niblett's hands?
Yeah, I think that was.
Did you were in the press conference room with me this week, right?
You
were. Did you notice Kirby's chuckle when they asked him about Thorson? He wanted to say, guys, we told him, don't you freaking dare.
He said he was trying too hard.
Yeah. Trying to kick this ball really, really high, put it on the sideline. When there's another dude over there that you're nervous of. It's why Zachariah Branch has been our special teams player of the week 17 times, despite the fact that he hasn't really done anything on punt return. Every punter's terrified of these guys, and it changes the way that those guys go about their business.
You saw the one return he got against Georgia. So and Kirby even said that played a role in him calling an onside kick.
Yeah, I thought I said it on Sunday's reaction show. I thought the onside kick was about two things. He was far more scared of Ryan Niblett than he was Texas's offense. And he trusted his defense. Those two things.
I mean, he probably was thinking there's just as good of a chance as this guy returning it to the 45 as there is for us either recovering this onside kick or we give it to him there anyways.
Absolutely. Does Kirby and Co. make vanilla taste like water this weekend, or is there any, quote, live bullets trickeration practice for the 1s and 2s? What he's asking is the old Georgia adage, are they going to try to create some what do you call it?
Adversity.
Yeah, they're going to try to manufacture some adversity. Hell no. Go out and handle business. All right. Has Gunnar passed all your expectations in terms of what you thought he was capable of heading into the season? What areas do you think he could refine and maybe even become an even bigger threat at the quarterback position? So, yeah, I never in my world's wildest dreams ever imagined a player would become a better layer of the football in season. Okay, and look, I have joked about this with the staff. If there's anything that I learn, if I ever stop covering and start coaching, I need to learn how they develop this kid in the middle of the year. And I need a better answer than he's really, really proud of his own performance and he's so self-critical that he fixed it. Because if that's it, then this isn't repetitive, right? Repeatable. This isn't like, oh, Georgia, coaches up quarterbacks really, really well. They figured it out with this midseason. If it's just the kid figured it out, then he is that special, and the ceiling of that football player seems to be just physical limitations. He's only 6'1". He's only 220 pounds. He's only a 4.72 athlete. Like, those will be the only limitations to him if the game consistently gets better. So to answer your question, yeah, he has outperformed what I thought he was going to be from a passing standpoint. All that being said, we went into the year telling you guys the game plan for Gunnar Stockton in this offense is 250 yards passing and him rushing for 50 yards. When they look at their best, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And no, so from their identity standpoint, how they go about offense, no, it has not really surprised me. Their ability to run the football at will has, because I thought really, really highly of the gentlemen that played on that offensive line last year. Hell, a lot of them have been in the studio. Some of them have been in the studio. We think really highly of them. They're NFL football players. They're considerably better at running the ball this year, and it has a lot more to do with just Gunnar adding and balancing counts, and a lot more to do with the run game and the run fits and the run angles and the arcs and the tracks that the offensive linemen take. They're just so much better than they were a year ago.
I think you could even go as far as to say that Gunnar's been a better runner than what maybe you expected in the
Twitchier for sure.
He showed a lot more in the run game than what you thought.
Yeah,
in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I thought Gunnar Stockton was going to be kind of this Riley Leonard guy, where it's like, oh, we need him on 3rd and 1 to get us a couple of yards, or just put your head down.
2nd and 12, quarterback draw, get us back into 3rd and 4.
Yeah, put your head down and get us 6. No, I mean, he is a running threat to the fullest extent. So,
who has the most to gain / who can rise their draft stocks the most over the next 2 games on UGA's roster? I think of one name, and it's because he is a football player that I think the more they play in national limelight and the more they play elite edge rushers, people will realize what we already know. It's Monroe Freeland. He plays a premier position that gets drafted really, really highly, and he's got premier football games left on the slate against really good defenses, and he's going to play really well, I would imagine. So that would be my name. I do think there is a draft ceiling on Zachariah Branch, and I don't want to put that on him, but I think there's a reality about that. Yeah. I don't know how many guys that look like him are doing it at a number 1 wide receiver or even number 2 wide receiver level in the NFL. And I think that's fair. I think the kid from the Ravens is probably a decent comp. What's his name?
Are you thinking of
I think he wears 4.
Zay Flowers?
Zay Flowers.
Yeah. I think Zay Flowers might be a really, really good comp for Zachariah Branch, but just maybe a better Zay Flowers. Is that possible? Look, this really exposes me with my NFL
Zay Flowers
knowledge.
is pretty freaking good.
Is he really good?
He's pretty freaking good.
All right, then that's the comp. If it works out at its rate, at highest rates, that's what it looks like. But there's one Zay Flowers, is there not?
I mean, I don't know.
You see what I'm talking about? 5'8".
No, yeah, there are not a lot of those in the NFL.
Not a lot of dudes that put up 1,000 yards at that stature.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
Okay.
I think another player that can increase their draft stock pretty well over these next few games is when you get into these high-profile, big marquee matchups, what you do as a DB goes much more noticed. If Dalen Everett has some SEC championship-like performances down this stretch, he's going to get a massive boost in his draft stock.
Dalen Everett, I'll go ahead and tell you what that's going to be. Dalen Everett is going to be a classic example of the college football season is going to end in January, and nobody's really talking about that guy as one of the top cornerbacks in the upcoming class. and then someone is going to stumble into Dalen Everett tape. It's going to go viral all over social media. He's going to go test bonkers at the NFL Combine, and then what do you know, Dalen Everett's a top 3 cornerback in the draft. Like that's who he's going to be, because you're right. Nobody's really talking about him right now. He could certainly increase his draft stock, or at least the buzz around his name, but that's how it's going to happen.
I remember, every year I do my guessing 40 times. And I remember guessing that Tyke Smith would go run 4.55, and then Tyke Smith ran like 4.41.
Yeah, smoked it
or something like that. And I texted a source inside the building that is in scouting, and I'm like, "Did you see this? What is this? Nothing ever showed me he would be running that fast. Like, he's a good athlete, but like, Jesus, post knee injury too, like 4.41. That's blazing." The direct quote from that source back was, "It's got to be the surface in Indy. If that kid runs 4.42, Dalen Everett might run 4.18.
Uh-oh.
4.18.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, they have
They have
resurfaced the
resurfaced.
field in
They
Indy.
have.
And I do think we saw some slower times last year. In
We
Indy
did.
when we were up there. But I only say that to bring up and confirm what you're talking about. Dalen Everett's going to be 6'1 3/4, close to 6'2.
Long arms.
The longest of arms. He'll probably have the longest arms of any corner in this class. Maybe a mid-major kid that went under the radar, like that kid from ECU last year is just a freakazoid that nobody knew about. Maybe that happens. But this kid will be the most physically impressive corner potentially at the NFL Combine. So there is that. All right. Let's set the props, boys.
Before we do that,
Come
let's
on.
give a quick shout out to our friends over at Ridge. Guys, the
man.
holiday season is coming up, and if you're looking for a gift,
Holiday season.
no better way than to get your man something to store his money with. Not only his money, charge his phone with. Ridge has got a plethora of products for you. The one I'm holding right now is this sleek wallet they have. Extremely durable, has money clips on the back so you can put your cash in it, place to store your cards. Extremely safe. I love using this thing. It's one of my favorite products that we have here. Brooks,
I
what do you got
love
over
using
there?
this Gazmo right here. All right, this power bank from Ridge. I'm telling you, we've been talking about it a couple of weeks now. This thing is primo for me. All right, I get about, 8 to 10 hours a day on my phone doing whatever we got to do throughout the day. And I don't have to rush to a charger midday and squat by a phone charger because I got my power bank right strapped to the back of my naked iPhone. All right, it's right here all day, ready to charge it up. I started the show with 18% on my phone. We are up to 83% with still 51% left on this power bank. Again, head over there today, ridge.com/Brooks10.
Yeah, we didn't even the promo code. Brooks10 is the promo code. for all who
Brooks10.
are
Ridge.com/Brooks10. Shout out to those folks over there. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Got a lot of people in the chat. Not enough thumbs up buttons on this here link. Let's set the props, boys. We got a lot of potential backups, hopefully getting into this foosball game. Let's start with one Pugga. Ryan Puglisi, total passing yards.
I think a good line is 85.5 here.
I set it at 78.
All right.
A little 8 for 12 for 78 yards.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under. I think I see Puglisi around like the 68 range.
I'm going over on this because I think that if this defense is as bad as we think, you could get that on 2 plays.
Over under a half of an interception.
Over.
He throws one?
I'm going to say
so.
under. I think he
Believe
throws,
in the Pugga.
I think he throws too firm of a ball. Those jokers can't catch it anyways.
I love this take.
They can't. They've never seen something like this
Seeds
before.
galore. What was that? That was a pelota going by your face, sir. All right. Bo Walker, total rushing yards. I got it 9 for 45.
Ooh.
Because you got to think, if anybody's getting totes this week, it better be Rod.
You'd
Better
think.
be Rod Rob.
Got to give him a Rod Rob.
Got to. If for no other reason than doing right by Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Give him an opportunity to put something on. Look, I'm not saying the kid needs to go or is going, but if he is, and y'all have already, by the way, they've already had these conversations. They should. If they haven't brought these kids into the room, by the way, and figured out what their deal is and what they feel about their positioning is right now and have these conversations, I think they're behind the schedule. So I think you do right by the kid and get him some burn this week.
Yeah, considering there's a good chance he'll be splitting carries with Rod Rob, I would say that Bo Walker probably finishes with like 42, 43 rushing yards, something around that.
By the way,
I'll take the over on that just because I think that what we saw against Mississippi State was very good tape. He was an angry runner, so I'm going to go over.
last night, I wanted to correct you last night, but I let it simmer. Last night you mentioned he showed the juice, right? I think he showed the wiggle. I don't know if he's got the juice.
I mean, I classify that as juice in my opinion.
Okay.
Like
did Dejon Edwards have juice?
No. But
I think this kid runs like Dejon is what I'm getting at.
I didn't feel Dejon
Walker?
vibes.
He's angrier than Dejon.
Okay.
Dejon is like I don't know, like the best way I can describe it, like a sneaky ninja. Like that's the best way I can describe the way Dejon Edwards runs the ball. Nothing about it is violent. Nothing about it is like, wow, that was electric, but it's always consistent and it always gets the job
The way
done.
I think of Dejon Edwards is never a negative.
Yeah.
That's the way I think of Bo Walker.
I'll put it this way. Tackling Dejon Edwards never looked painful, in my opinion. It looked
Okay.
hard.
That's fair.
Tackling Bo Walker looked painful on Saturday when he played Mississippi State.
Okay. I think we're if Bo Walker has more than a 45-yard rush during his time at Georgia, I'll do 1,000 push-ups.
Okay.
Let's call it 50. 50-yard rush.
In one sitting?
No. One explosive 50-yard run.
No. 1,000 push-ups in one sitting.
I will not move until the 1,000 is done.
Okay.
I'll take that because, I mean, I've seen Kendall Milton rip off 50-yarders.
Kendall Milton's got good long speed.
I would say that I'm just saying, I think that's very possible for Bo Walker.
All right. I could use 1,000.
But, like,
you know,
I think that there's different, like, the way I would use juice when I describe Nate Frazier and the way I would use the word juice for a guy like Bo Walker, two different types. Like, Bo Walker, that's full pulp orange juice right there. Nate Frazier, it's pulp-free orange juice. There ain't nothing holding it back.
Full pulp is crazy.
I don't know. That's the best analogy I could come up with right there in the heat of the moment.
What other line do we have?
I'm texting other people to make sure I'm not an idiot for the rack. I might be doing 1,000 push-ups. I mean, who knows? Like I said.
You seen that offensive line?
I mean, I have.
Have you seen their opponent?
Look, chat's already saying like I'm not a believer. Dude, I am a Bo Walker believer. I am a Bo Walker is always going to average 5 yards a carry. I'm just not I think Bo Walker's got breakaway speed. That's all I am.
And I'm not a believer of that.
And
either.
I don't think you have to, by the way. Like, could Bo Walker turn into could he have a running style of Cam Scatterbo? That's what you're sniffing. You think he's painful. You think he's that. Like, could he turn into that? Maybe. He might.
Which, by the way, Cam Scatterbo definitely had a rush over 50 yards in his career.
He did. I don't think I'm too risky. I mean, it's 1,000 push-ups. It ain't that bad. I could knock those out in a good 45 minutes to an hour, maybe.
You think so?
2 hours? I mean, do sets of 10. It's 100 sets of 10.
It's not the time you got to worry about.
Yeah, it's the fatigue.
It's the fatigue.
I mean, I'm already doing 200 a day.
Yeah, but are you doing – how long does it take you to do 200?
10 minutes.
200?
15 minutes, yeah.
15 minutes.
Just sets of 20. Just walking around the studio. Crank 20. Take a breather. Crank 20. Be done in 10.
All right.
Sets, that is. By the way, if you are someone like me that's very – like I'm on camera all the time. I've always been very self-conscious of my man boobs that I've earned over the years. Crank out 200 push-ups a day. Just do it. See what happens. Where are we at? Oh, player props. Dom Kelly.
Over. I don't care what it is. Give me the over. I don't know. I don't need it.
I was gonna say pictures taken of Dom Kelly.
Over.
He might be the whole photo album.
He might be the whole photo album.
Give me the over.
I was gonna say interceptions. Does
Over.
he get one?
Over.
2?
Maybe not 2.
Okay.
He will get Dom Kelly. I'm a Dom Kelly fan club.
Boy, if Dom Kelly walks away with an interception this weekend, this is going to be the most obnoxious local hour on Monday you've ever heard
my
because it's going to be nothing but Dom Kelly love.
And it'll be coming solely from me.
All three of us, I would say.
No, it won't. You won't be here.
Oh, you're right. I won't be here. Spoiler alert.
What are we doing next week?
I don't know. I'm here for until Wednesday.
We need to talk travel plans on Friday down to Mercedes.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Let's have that meeting.
You won't be. I'm going to be at the in-laws. So you're going to have to drive down there and find parking is what I'm telling you. We have to have a whole off-show conversation about all of our logistics next week. I think what most of it's going to be is me in here solo. I think unless you want to come out here and do tag team him because he's going to be out of town.
That's fine. Yeah. We've done that before.
Yeah, so we'll see what we got going on next week. Hey, how many field goals does Georgia kick on Saturday? I got one late.
Give me 2. I
Because
think
this means Charlotte got to stop, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 2.
Charlotte got to stop.
If
Hey, drop pass, something crazy like that, penalties.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted.
Like young guys get in, you get some penalties.
put Puglisi in
things
a
like that.
2-minute drill, get him down to field goal range. I think you get 2.
Here's a better prop. I don't know who it is. How many attempts does the backup place kicker get?
None.
None.
Just
Just like I don't think Ryan Montgomery gets a cut.
You really don't think so?
I think he gets playing time. I don't think he gets suspended.
Oh, yeah. No.
I think they run him out there. The third stringer has never gotten pass attempts.
not true.
Jackson Muschamp didn't have one?
Maybe for the love of the game.
I think that he might have gotten one against Florida State.
Maybe for the love of the box score.
Jackson Muschamp hit a.
He sure did.
That was
He hit a
a-
slime?
That was a run. But he got a drop back on that play.
He sure did.
So
My king, Jackson Muschamp.
With Pops on the
Hey,
sideline.
Jackson Muschamp might be an agent one day.
Good for him.
shout out.
Or I guess that's why he was in slacks and a button-up polo standing next to Jimmy Sexton.
He's rushing.
I don't mean to break any news there. I don't think anybody's rushing to the Jackson Muschamp news.
Oh, he's rushing.
He's pledging.
He's a pledge.
He's pledging. He's pledging with Jimmy Sexton at CAA. What do you think pledgeship at CAA looks like?
Carry around the coffee and answer the phone.
I would imagine you're crunching numbers.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Someone told me at CAA, I had a buddy tell me this, that there are people with law degrees that work in their mailrooms.
Checks out.
Jeez.
That's how competitive it is to try to get a
Boy,
job at CAA.
You want to talk about working your way up the totem pole.
Mm.
Spending all that time in law school, working your butt off to pass the bar, you get your first job, and you're digging through the mail.
I can't believe we have chat in here questioning. Now, I know what they're doing. They're trolling to try to see if my dumbass will get up and do push-ups right now. Dude, we streamed your boy in here just raw in 225 out of nowhere. I think I got 50 push-ups. I think we're all right there. Just cuidado.
Strength and endurance are a different thing.
Zacoby White, CJ Wiley. Total yardage.
Give me a cool 75.
I'll put it at 65.
Okay.
I like yours. Because, I mean, hell, it's 2 catches for CJ, and he could be over 65.
200.
200?
Ooh, they're going for a bill
Go
each.
for 100.
I'm going to take the under on that one, Jay Will. I think I'm pretty safe on that one.
Yeah, I'd put it somewhere like maybe 80. They both get 40 or something like that. I think that's very possible.
I had a dream last night.
This is where we're going.
Yeah, I had a dream last night.
What
What
was
was
this
your
dream
dream?
about?
It was a Monday press conference,
All right.
and as Kirby walks out of the press conference after the last question, he's like, hey, you, come here.
Pointed to you.
Yeah. So we walk outside of the press conference room, and it's just me, him, and Leland standing off on the side. And Kirby looks at me, and he goes, let me ask you a question. I said, yes, sir. He goes, when you going to stop fiddling around with all this media stuff and come work for me? And I woke up.
This was an actual dream?
Actual dream. Honest to God.
I'm glad. Good for you. Glad you dream about things
I think
like
I
that.
said no, though.
Oh.
I don't know. Woke up too quick.
We're that important. Yeah. He said no to Kirby Smart for us.
Sorry, Coach. I don't enjoy working 100 hours a week.
I like seeing the daylight.
Maybe I was just manifesting.
Could have been.
You know? I manifested this place.
Sure
Yeah.
did.
Nah, I'm not qualified. We'll see you when we see you. When are we going to see him? Sunday at noon. That's when we'll see him. Sunday at noon.
We'll see
here
him on the
network.
walk and talk
Oh, yeah. We'll see him. Oh, yeah. Can't wait for that one.
at about 2:30 p.m.
Over under 750 likes on that thing.
I don't
Hammering
know-
the under.
I don't know what the number.
Oh, they
normal-
average over 1,000 every game.
We'll get over that.
You think so?
Yeah.
For Charlotte?
Yeah.
Dubious. Hey, love you guys.